taking wins. We don't mess with laws. I be taking wins. We don't mess with laws. I be taking wins. We don't mess with laws. I be taking wins. We don't mess with laws. We been on that paper chasing on that fashion. We been on that paper chasing what you ration.
Been in the grind now. We ready for prime time. Ready for shine now. We ready to get smile. On the rise, all eyes up on us now. Blast off spaceships till the touchdown.
Energy level on high. Put that trouble on fire. Double it down, I'ma spit it around. Click, clack, boom, we the best in town. Energy level on high. Put that trouble on fire. Double it down, I'ma spit it around. Click, clack, boom, we the best in town. I started off the lowest point in life, though. I started off the lowest point in life, though. I started off the lowest point in life, though. I started off the lowest point in life, though. I started off the lowest point in life, yo.
And there it is.
And the theme song never gets old, man.
It never does, bro. It
never does.
You know, it's not available on the ProQuo album. You know what I mean? So
maybe that's what it is.
That's what it is. So it's like you haven't bumped it too much. You only hear it on Fridays, you know?
Right.
But you know, we have the other one, which is the chandeliers one. We do have that version too. And when we don't run that one because, well, we do run it occasionally, but the reason we don't really run it is because it shuts down the clip. You know how Facebook gets funny with copywritten material. So, and you know, and that brings up a wonderful point too. We have a guest tonight. Jonah Nathan's coming on. He's playing some new music. And I was like, bro, if you got any music that's unreleased, you know what I'm saying? Right. We can really give that its full due. It's but the powers that be at Facebook, you know, they like to put the copyright thing on there and shut down your stream, and it drastically reduces the amount of people that you can hit. Usually you can still hit them in replay, but you'll see your viewership. Like I can see more than just the viewer on, like I can see the viewer in Facebook, and then I can see the total cumulative viewers. And then later on, I can see like all the viewers who watched on the replay, and it'll go from like, there might be like 60 people watching across all platforms. And that includes Twitter, and sometimes it's Twitch, depending if we're on there. And some, I think tonight we're on Twitter, like 3 or 4 of my Facebook pages. One of them only really watches. When the guests come on, they can share it on their page. It's on our YouTube, a couple of our YouTube pages, our link, my LinkedIn and my Twitter. And so needless to say, right, any one of those pages might only have like 5 people on at a peak time. Right. Except the Facebook page will have the most. At some points, you know, it'll be like 100 people. Other times it'll drop down to 2, you know, and, right. Or 0, you know what I'm saying? But when you're watching it cumulatively, what'll happen is you'll see it go, you know, like let's say the 60 people, it'll go 60, and then it'll go 4 right after you play the song. And you're like, what do you, and then you get a little notice. It's like, some of your streams have been limited. I'm like, come on, yo.
I wonder if there's a process, you know, like a pre-screening process, you know what I mean, where you can prevent that. They need to work on that. All this metaverse stuff they're working on.
You know what I need to do? First of all, I need to properly. I'm gonna jump out the picture for a second. People just got to look at you in all your glory. Hold
on. Regular stuff, man.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
Fly, man.
That man is always fly, always that. But Fly, we haven't seen you in a bit. I know you've been in the grind, man. So how's life going?
It's been a challenge, man. But you know, God is good, man. I'm blessed. I got Mon Dukes here with me, man. She's doing, man, amazing. Yep.
What?
And so
send my best.
Yes, sir. And it's kind of got me in a different place. Had me in a much different place the last since August, 3 or 4 months, man. But now that everything's kind of like I'm kind of getting a rhythm, you know, so to speak, with everything that's going on. And man, I'm ready to like get back in action. get some stuff going.
Word.
January would be a great start for just like the momentum I'm feeling, going lead to it. And so, yeah, man, working on some stuff, man, like low key working on a project, man, with a very special person. And it's gonna be different, man. It's gonna be different from maybe anything else anyone has ever heard from me.
It's not this person, is it? What up, Jay
Yo!
Cruz? What's going on, homie? Oh, you got no mic, but it's all good. Oh, there you are.
You hear me? You see me?
Yeah,
everything good?
We see the champion that you are up on the shoulder. There we go. Yo, Quo. Don't even show him the champion. I got the new champion sweatsuit, man. I wasn't trying to don it yet. I was waiting to come up to see you, man. Now we're gonna look like we really sponsored. People gonna know what's up.
Unofficial.
Yeah, man. Unofficial, official back in the building, man. Quote, yo, did you hear what F.L.Y said right before we threw you in? F.L.Y was like, I'm doing a new project with a very, very special person. And I don't know if he was gonna tell us who that special person was. I thought maybe it was Quo.
I'm not quite ready to spill the beans, but when I do, it'll be here first.
What?
Yeah,
you're looking real crispy, by the way, F.L.Y.
Man, appreciate that. It's been too long. It's been too long, man. And this is an epic night tonight, man. So I'm just excited to be here as always.
Absolutely, man. I mean, I don't want to somber the mood, man, but my deepest condolences to you, Quo. I know you going through it. So I just wanted to put that out there. You may not want me putting it out there, but I got to put it out there because I know you've been going through some stuff, man. I know you lost your grandma. So. Yeah, man, that's crazy. I know you're literally dealing with it today, right? So I think he might have froze up a little bit there, but I don't want to misquote, but I know that he's dealing with today, tomorrow, the next day, and all that stuff. So
yeah, man, tough next couple of days, man. I really pray brother gets through that, man. And
yeah, I think he's back in.
Oh, there we go. Man, yeah, I'm Pro. You recognize the area?
Yeah, I do, man. Yeah, I do. You in the Ville, baby. Yeah.
So I was, say something real quick to F.L.Y. I love you, brother, man, and I've been wanting to. You're always on my mind, bro.
Yeah, we losing him a little bit. Maybe it's that too many people using the Wi-Fi, man. I think he's got a packed house over there tonight because he's got the whole fam up in there, I believe. So
brother, because it's always a house full at my house, man.
Yeah, and I
got an 8-piece. I got an 8-piece now. My current family size is 8.
Oh wow.
Yeah, wow. Man. Yeah.
Wow. I don't even know how you do 8, man. Man. Quo, everybody's using your Wi-Fi at the crib tonight, right? Everybody's there. Is that what it is? Waiting for us to kick in. Yeah, he's down in the basement. I know he's got the whole fam over there, so I don't want to say too much on that. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to come back in, and I know he's trying to jump out and come back in. And we got we got special guests too. We got Jonah Nathan up in the crib. We're going to get him in a little bit as well. He's been working on new music, new projects. You know what the theme is tonight? It's trials and tribulations, because everybody goes through it, man, and we've all been going through it, and we all trying to come out as much on top as we possibly can, and make ourselves better in the process. Quo, I see you back there getting your stuff straight, so I'll give you a sec to work on your Wi-Fi.
I like that, brother. I like that.
Yeah, man. I mean, trials and tribulations, man. I mean, like the fact that Quo's even here is amazing. The fact that we got Jonah here is amazing. I know you've been, you got a lot of stuff on the plate too. Everybody all over the place, man. So appreciate all you guys trying to be here. Let's see if I'm looking at Quo's meter and I see that it's red. I know he's back there. So Quo, if you can hear me, you might want to jump out again. And we'll try to get him back in. But yeah, man, he's got the whole fam there. I'll just say he lost his grandma this week, and shout out to the whole fam. And so I know that it's been difficult. Actually, he's got plenty of bars. So let's see.
Yeah,
Hey, there you are.
I had outside.
Man, he's in the grind. He's outside of Massachusetts, man, outside with just the sweatshirt, showing us the breath. It's actually been pretty warm though.
Like 30 degrees, man.
Nah, it's been pretty warm, right?
Yeah, 55 today.
Yeah.
You know what? This is
nice
crazy.
warm stretch.
Yeah, we warmed today here too, but yeah, man, it's amazing having you here, QUO. I know you going through it. I was just starting to say it. I didn't want to take it away from you, but you lost your grandma, and
Yeah.
I know this has been a tough weekend. I appreciate you coming through, and you want to talk about that a little bit, and kind of what you did is sort of like a healing process.
Yeah, absolutely. So my grandma. Shout out to everybody that has that same issue with their grandparent or a loved one that they know disease to deal with, and the only thing which is kind of the indirect blessing was that I was prepared for it mentally and emotionally, but of course, when you lose your rock, because she was my rock, I was the oldest grandchild, so she was there for me throughout a lot of stuff through my life, obviously. So the loss itself is difficult for a lot of people to, I mean, it's tears expressed, but my pen so I can really speak my heart, and feel like I actually in some fashion. So the day that she passed away, I came home that night, and I started penning a whole verse. I recorded a first version, but I cried on it, so I didn't release that version. And the next little bit more, and then I laid out a version produced by my man. I told him what happened. He hit me with the beat.
Who did you say you cut out right there? What was the producer?
See.
Oh, it's still cut out. One, say blah blah
Audio
blah, and then say his name. There you go. I wanted to give him a shine. There you go. Yeah, Audio Mercy. Shout out to him, man. Crazy track. So, I know I might be coming in a touch better. You guys can hear me okay. I just want to make sure everybody heard that clear. So QUO made a new verse, a new song really dedicated to his grandma for his whole family. I'm sure that's incredibly emotional for them hearing that. I heard it's emotional to me, and it's like it's your fam, and I can only imagine what that's like. Have you performed that for them?
No, I have not, but there will be a surprise, coming.
Yeah, I didn't want to speak too much on it because I know what you told me. So
we'll keep it at that. But it was beautiful because my cousin put together the photo work, and the song was obviously in that photo work, so it was cool having that there with my immediate family. But today was beautiful, man. I saw cousins, and I had Canadian relatives that I haven't seen in 25 years come down.
Right.
And cousins from my grandfather's side that I haven't seen in decades. So, it's the death is death, but when you take the light away from it and you see what it does, what she did to bring all this family together. We always say it when we leave a funeral or a wake, right? But I feel like this is the one that really made it click, where I said, look, I got to take the reins. Everybody wants it to happen, but making it is not really something that's possible. So make sure when you guys, have to go through these situations and wakes and see family, do your best to see that through once a year where you get to reach that bond going. That's my 2 cents on that tip.
Wow, man. Shout out to people sending you thoughts, prayers. A lot of comments back here. I've been a little slow getting them up there, but right now a lot of them say Facebook user and they don't say the names on there too. But I know one of them is Tree. Shout out to Tree. QUO, you want to tell about the special delivery? You want to tell people about special delivery?
Actually should have got a ProQuo shirt a long time ago, and that never happened. It was cool. I hope we hooked her up with 2.
Yeah. So she won one officially the other day, and then QUO was like, "Yo, didn't she win an old one?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's right." And I lost track of it too because I think she didn't realize it. So every time I'd be talking about it, I don't think she knew what I was talking about, or either that she was just being nice. And and I'm like, maybe I'm crazy. I thought we gave her, give her a shirt. So she got both of them now. So she was rocking. Yeah, we'll have to share her. Exactly. Yeah, I was like, the postman delivers, baby. The postman delivers. Yeah, thank you just came through there too. So I know that's from her. Shout out to Tree. Day one support from her. So we appreciate it. Day one.
Yes,
Day one was probably in preseason. You know what I'm saying? It was preseason support. Cool. We gotta run that joint. Is that cool?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
All right. So we got a little special song that QUO made for the fam. And just to give it a little bit of backstory, for those of you not familiar with what we do as ProQuo, we made a song called Grandma Stories. That's on the album. To QUO and I, it's always been one of the most heartfelt songs on the whole album, and we've been really thinking about ways we can promote it as a video, but we don't want to do it until we really do a correct video. And another big surprise to a lot of people who don't know, I will be up in Boston next week. QUO and I are doing a surprise show Sunday night. If people are around at the Shaskeen, we'll be up there. F.L.Y will be up there. In fact, you know what it's really looking like? You got your boy F.L.Y. You got your man QUO. You got your boy Pro. You got your boy Cody Prope just down the street, and we're going to check him out. Well, I know I'm checking him out Friday and do a little event with him at the they got this spot there called, I believe it's called the Nashville Garden. And I might be misquoting the name of the spot there, but they do, it's like kind of a freestyle thing. But Sunday night, when we all rock, we also got a whole lot of, that's like 4 or 5 people we got from the track, Beast Over Beats. And yeah, man. So it's going to have to be a little impromptu Beast Over Beats. We got some XCal in there. We got some ProQuo in there. And that's going to be crazy, people. So that's FYI, man. Sunday night at the Shaskeen. Next Sunday, a week from now.
Manchester, New Hampshire.
Manchester, New Hampshire, baby. So y'all got to come up. Tree, you got to come up. You got to make it. You got to cancel your plans right now. Whatever you're doing Sunday night. We haven't told anybody yet. We haven't posted it on social media. We just been keeping it under wraps. Yeah, and QUO and I, and hopefully F.L.Y will all be together in Florida real soon, performing and down to our conference.
I can't wait. But that's gonna be at that point. That's why I said, but I just have to up you so much, F.L.Y. Like, I speak to LD. I'm trying to. LD's kind of like the captain for me on that. I just have to work on the top with my time restrictions, but I love you, and I can't wait to hopefully see you there. If not, we know we're gonna be seeing each other.
Oh, I'm working on it. I promise I'm working on it. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. And we were saying, we were like, we were talking about songs to perform and stuff. We were like, yo, we gotta think about doing grandma stories. And this was before the Jay's grandma passing. And he was like, this is the verse that I meant to write. Like, this is the verse that I wanted to write, and obviously you don't have that inspiration until it happens. You know what I'm saying? And QUO had lost grandparents and like great grandparents and stuff. But, I had dealt with the grandma one. And QUO, you said it better than I can say it, but I'll try to rephrase what you said to me the other day. You were like, most of the joints, I follow QUO's lead. You know what I'm saying? Like, QUO would be like, yo, this is kind of the thought. I'm going in this direction. You come in and write something laser on point to this topic. And on this, it's like this one, that was kind of like my sort of one that I kind of led with the verse, right? And then QUO's verse was incredibly dope as it was, but like he said, it obviously wasn't motivated by the same level of when it hits that grandma who's your rock and your family, And so he wrote this, and I can't wait to share it with people. And we're thinking about how to incorporate it as like the remix to the original Grandma Stories when we put it out as a single.
What I love, man, it's like, when I after that verse, what it did and hearing and all that, and then I go back to the Grandma Story and I re-listen. It leveled up my appreciation for what he did, because I was speaking so high in thought process and about my great grandparents, my grandmother, my wife, and then my daughter, like kind of thinking that my daughter will eventually be able to sing everything, where it's so pinpoint specific that it just like, listening to your verse, it just leveled up, So yeah, we're gonna
let's get to yours, man.
Special.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get to yours, and then we're gonna bring in my man Jonah Nathan, Solomonic verses. We're gonna hear from him as well. So let's get into Nanny. And let me share this correctly.
Mute the mics, right?
Yes, sir.
I often wonder what your last memory of me was. I talk and stumble while you lift me from above. I wish I got to say I love you before your wings was with the doves. I ain't never tell you. You the reason I am who I am. You made the greatest puzzle. Animal bingo, corn pops, friendlies, hot fudge drizzle. Jared's talk telling Cindy what to watch. Oh no, she in trouble. 8-track stops where my uncle's rock stars got a couple. Nanny, I got aunties for a second mother, cousins on another level. Nova Scotia drives to the cottage with the tribe. Pig roast, they on schedule. July 28th was always special. Jelly with the sugar cane, I got the toast near the kettle. I mention this for family, her soul's in my penmanship. She my rose petals, my eloquence. You always put beautiful on emphasis. The love you have for us is real ridiculous. I know you're gone, but your spirit's in my sentences. Smiling down on us, watching grandchildren images. Trying not to cry, your new beginning is the genesis. We're okay, Nanny, I'm with Papa pegging cribbages. Tears over pages, I wash away the blemishes. Tears over pages, washing over blemishes. Cruise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Yo.
Real talk,
words, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Real talk.
That's big. That can be a little bit overwhelming, man.
Yeah. It's like it's so beautiful when especially for my cousins. Like everybody, obviously, I make it for myself first, yes, but being able to share that with my family, and uncles, just so that they like hear me express my emotion. You know what I mean? And I appreciate it made me appreciate my gift even more. I like when they say, "Hey, I love that record." Like that's the one I want to say. I love that record. You know what I mean? So,
bro, it's crazy. Yeah,
number 2,
it's crazy, man.
Yeah. Before I dip, because I know my family waiting on me to eat and stuff.
Yeah, bro.
But I told them how to do it.
For real. Yeah, man. Appreciate you blessing us with that, and say peace and love to the family, man. They have our love and condolences, obviously, especially to your moms. You know what I mean? But yeah, give my love, man, and I'll see them soon.
Speaking of my mom, she did what she was supposed to, like 0 regrets, because she was there every week for the past like 3 years. You know what I mean? And that's the thing that really destroys you emotionally when you have regrets, right? Because you know what I mean, at the end of the day. So yeah, shout out to mom, man, and really being there and having to spend all that quality time with her. So my grandpa is gonna get it on the back end, because I don't care. I'm gonna be making extra time, the extra.
Bro.
Yeah.
Got you. Got you. Yo, your pops chimed in earlier too, man, with the big heart on the on the on the
Uh,
um on the thing
I
earlier.
see.
Yeah, it's yeah. But I'm trying to share the page, but I don't want to knock you out the picture right now. But anyway, so shout out to your pops too. I don't know why a lot of the names I can only see as Facebook user. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but must be a little glitch in the matrix. But I can see the
It's
people
probably
who've
me.
hit. No, I don't think it's you, man. It's weird. It's weird. It's like it's not showing me in real time through the page, but it's coming through on here. So I know Tree's been there. I know Drew, Andrew. I see a lot of you out there, man. But anyways, shout out to everybody, man. And I know you got to get back to your thing. And I just before you get out, man, I just want one person to be able to say what's up to you. We're gonna bring in my man Jonah, and we're gonna get busy with him. And Quo, I know you're gonna dip out. We'll talk soon. But I got my man Jonah Nathan in the building. I know he wants to say what's up to Quo and F.L.Y. What's going on, Jonah?
Whoa, Jay. What's going on, everybody?
Yo.
What's
Can y'all hear me?
Jonah.
Yeah, good to see you, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, man, my condolences, brother. Love you. Praying for you. And you're in my thoughts and prayers, man. I got you. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate you, man. I love you back, bro. Appreciate you a lot.
Yes. Yeah.
Quo,
Good to see you,
out of here,
brother.
man.
I'm glad you came on.
Had to.
Come on.
Man. This was in preparation. No matter what, because now this is because this is the ProQuo Show, and my man
No
F.L.Y. He became, but there ain't nobody but F.L.Y. F.L.Y. is F.L.Y. Okay, but
No doubt.
I had
Super
I went through my digest all the information from kind of getting a lot of momentum and having a lot of work. I had too much work on my plate, so I just had to figure out where I would. And of course, ProQuo Show is huge, and I will be back. Don't worry about that. I'll start seeing my face on social media more because I got my game plan down. I got releases coming out for first Saturday of February, and I'm going to be doing 24 releases, 2 years of records every week. So
and it don't stop.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
All right, but I love
Good to see you, man. Love you, bro.
Man. Thank you. Get this on the restream, man. Peace out.
Absolutely, man. Peace. Yo. Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Hey, yo. Check this out. Ready?
I'm ready. Oh, I see what you did there. I see some butter messenger there, baby. That's how long have you had that?
I just want people to know that we go way back.
Man, you probably had that since it came out. I mean, just about.
Ready?
Yeah.
I'm not done.
I see you. Got the brand name woman, Butter Messenger remix. Okay. I got them up in here too.
Yes, sir.
They're in here, but man,
Yes,
yours look pristine though. I say that.
Oh. Well, I had to clean them up a little bit, but
I hear you. I got
what's up, everybody?
I got my man Jonah Nathan in the building, yo. It's been a minute, man. In fact, speaking of day one, Jonah's in the credits, man. Jonah, you in the credits, man. When we reel the promo every week, and your face is up in there. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
And those were our earliest shows. You know what I'm saying? Some of our earliest shows. So we've had you as a fixture. People that chime in, see you every week, or people that chime in on the after effects. So that's real dope. And so people saying, "What's up? Oh my gosh, his voice is amazing." Love his voice. I'm sure you're so sick of that, bro. I mean, or does it ever get tiring? People telling you got the best voice in the world, because you do.
It never gets tiring.
That's good to hear. Where are you at? Are those books behind you? What do you got on the shelf there? CDs, books. Oh, I see. Okay, all right, cool.
Books. Cool. My wife loves to decorate, so she hooks up the crib. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's the backdrop.
Whatever Kathy Sullivan did, she's the only person whose name I can actually see. So I got to study and figure out what Kathy did. She has the secret sauce. Shout out to the Sullivans. Shout out, Kathy.
Kathy with the secret sauce. She's the
Somehow she broke through.
Oh, that's my mom. That's my mom. She's on.
That's how she did
Mom
it.
Dukes, what's going on? Love you, Mom.
You know what it is? Now I bet she's on your page.
Yeah.
So there's something going on maybe on my page, because most of the people come through my page, and so there's something acting up. So go to Jonah's page, man. Everybody go to Jonah. Jonah, what's your page, man? We can see
Jonah
who you
Nathan
are. You know?
Or Solomonic Journey.
Right.
Love you, Mom. So I give a shout out to High Power and Solomonic Journey in the house. Professor Lyrical, love you, my brother.
Love you back, bro.
Yeah, man.
I saw you snuck me in your top 5. I appreciate that, man. I saw that.
Absolutely.
I didn't catch it right away. Fee sent it to me. I was like, man, yeah. I see
You're one of my favorite MCs, brother. I mean, hands down.
Appreciate it.
Not to gas you up, brother, but bro, there's not many that could, to use a biblical metaphor, tie your sandals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, appreciate it.
You're one of my favorite MCs, bro. Hands down.
Appreciate it. That's big, man. That's big.
There's not. Yeah, you are a top tier MC. Not many people could come near that.
I appreciate that.
And you know what I appreciate about you is when me and Danny Maldonado were coming up, the Mystic Liquid Click, chilling in the low, Mill City. You kind of took us under your wing,
right?
You know what I'm saying, and you were working with some of the biggest names in the biz.
Yep.
You know, doing shows everywhere, and you didn't care that we were unknown.
Mm-hmm.
You took us under your wing, shared your platform with us, exposed us, you know, to different artists and different things like that. So, man, I love you for that, man.
Oh yeah, man, absolutely.
I'll always appreciate you for that.
We always, you know, Fee and I, we always talk about you guys, and we were always talking about you guys then too, because we could always see the struggle that y'all were in, you know, and we were in a little bit better place at that particular time.
Absolutely.
And you know, that's the whole reason when you want to be able to help people out. If you see people struggling, especially people that are trying, it's hard not to help. And y'all were, you know, we were just doing what we could. I mean, it was like, I remember Danny was he said it a couple times in his own, you know, very excited words, which I won't be able to perfectly capture, but Danny was an unbelievable bundle of energy and, you know, soaked things up like a sponge, for better or worse. And his I think like he was the more, you know, wild and crazy, and you maybe had more like actual MC skills than him, like when y'all were starting. But Danny's like path was like whoosh, like, you know, exponential growth, trying to like soak in absolutely everything, or maybe too fast. And you know, we're just not.
Because he passed me. He passed.
Yeah. I know what you mean. And he passed a lot of people, bro. He passed a lot of people.
He became a better MC. You know what I'm saying? And
now I see.
It's like by the way, the student became the teacher.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And then y'all know the rest. But
yeah, we know the rest. Yeah, not everybody needs to know the rest, I suppose. But you know, anyway. Like all those trials and tribulations, though, it's like, you know, I was only a half step removed from actually where what you all were going through, and then I went through a lot of my own stuff at that same time, which I think you know some of, and you know, Lowell can do that to people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can only share a little bit without exposing a lot of people's stuff. I mean, but I was in deep with literally like federal agents, like with, you know, just a lot of things were going on in my world at that time, like right after y'all. And people were dealing, you know, substance abuse was behind most of it. Here's the thing, right? It was guns, it was substance abuse, and it was people that were unstable. And you put those things together to begin with, and people that didn't have much, you have a recipe for disaster. And so as much as you try to be a rock for people, you know, they'll pull you, you know, people are drowning, they usually pull the other person down too. And the other person, you know, so it's hard. You got to try to throw the life raft when you can, but you can't always throw your hand or your full body in, or you can get pulled down. So it's a balancing act, you know?
Yes. And I mean, I see that now.
It's you said something when you were paying homage to Pro that made me think about just a general question when it comes to MCs. How do you identify that when you're grading MCs? What decisions? What does it come down to?
This is for me or for Jonah? Jonah, you're saying?
For Jonah, because recently it's kind of been one of the topics maybe a few weeks ago about 21 Savage kind of saying Oz wasn't the MC, and I'm always curious. And of course, you had people on both sides of the fence, and when he mentioned you and how much he appreciated you as an MC, I'm curious to know how people come to that conclusion, what they call, because I call maybe what's today music as alternative hip hop, not necessarily like hip hop as we know it, like a sub-genre of hip hop. It's still related, but it's not the same. So to identify what a true MC is, and does anybody in today's newer artists fit in that category of yours?
Well, I know with me for Pro, in terms of, I mean, his cadence, I mean, he could hit any style. He's got the vocab, to quote the Fugees. And not only is he intelligent, because y'all got the best podcast, really. That's why I share it in Solomonic Journey. I don't share a lot of stuff in my group page, but I share your show. And very intelligent. He doesn't have to resort to swearing. That's why you find yourself on my Christian hip hop playlist. One of the few non-Christian MCs who are on my Christian playlist, you know what I'm saying? But
that's why I keep Fly close.
Yo, the vocab, the cadence, his versatility.
I'm just gonna leave right now, so I'm just gonna let y'all carry on.
Yo. And you can take something profound and make it simple. That's what I love about it.
That to me is I appreciate all that. That to me is the biggest compliment.
Right there.
Yeah, that's
why
I love that.
And I know like music is very subjective and whatever. Everybody has their favorite MC, but Fee, Lord Claude, remain, top tier MCs in my heart, to me, because not only were they there for me very early on and helped develop me, but their ability to just adapt, be versatile, and plus they love the culture. I mean, if you don't get that from them, then you ain't watching them. They love the culture. They contribute to the culture. They don't take from, they contribute. And they take, and just like I said, that they take very, especially Pro, right here, very, very profound, very educated, but he don't sound like dictionary breath, you know what I'm saying? Or like that educate, you know what I'm saying? He can take what's profound and make it simple. And he and I have totally different worldviews, but yet I still love him and respect him for his craft. You know what I'm saying?
Much appreciated.
Right. That's awesome. That's awesome. So who else was in your top 5 then? If that's your parameters for deciding top 5, who else is in your top 5?
Well, I love De La. And I think they're very underrated. But True Goy and Parsanus, right up there. I've been listening to them since 1989. That's how old I am. I just dated myself. But Black Thought, of course, Most Def, Talib Kweli, and I mean, right there, man.
Yeah, that's a list.
I don't necessarily agree with their worldviews. But I love their commitment to hip hop, what they put into their craft. You know what I'm saying? The way that they have y'all heard the new Black Star?
Yeah, I've heard most of it. Yeah,
but I hear what I hear in relation to those people that you name is they're conscious MCs too.
Yeah, that's kind of what I came up on.
Yeah, they're conscious MCs. They're very about the world that they live in.
Are we gonna get a fly list? Is the real question. Are we gonna get a fly list?
Man,
let's get that fly list, man.
It's in flux.
Much.
What you say?
My list changed so much.
Yeah, it's in flux. Yeah.
Man, I have one of those floating fives. That's what I called it. I had a floating five, man. It just depends on what I'm listening to.
Mine is too. I you know, it's funny. Like I can usually say mine with general regularity, and I do listen to it. Kind of to Jonah's point, like I've never stopped listening to every genre of hip hop. I you know, I stay immersed in everything that's out, and I always have. And this goes for like you quoting 89. This goes from like 80s to now. I think a lot of people who are maybe of a certain age, right? Whenever they feel it's not a particular age, it's whatever age they feel like, whoa, I better say something that makes me hip and cool, right? They will look for like, oh, let me find an artist that I can like name drop to sound like I'm hip and cool, to throw in the middle of a bunch of classic MCs, right? So they'll feel like it's their obligation because they want to be quote unquote relevant. So a lot of people are scared to say like people like the De La's and, you know, whoever. You'll get people that will throw Black Thought in there. And I agree, right. Black Thought is a top 5 MC because it's undeniable, right? Yeah. It's almost where opinion stops mattering. It's like if you don't have Black Thought, if you're using your metrics that you just said and you didn't say Black Thought, there'd be something wrong. You know what I mean? And it's similar for me. I always feel that way with Pharaoh, even though he doesn't have the same body of work as close. Pharaoh Monch to me is yeah, I know, but I mean, Prince Poe arguably was one of the best MCs in the world when he was in the same group as him, but unfortunately the best MC in the world at that time was in his group. So it's like you almost didn't even think of him. And, you know, I'm sure that plays nuts on your psyche. QUO has talked about that a lot, rapping with me. He said that many times, both on and off the record. QUO was one of my favorite MCs in the world. And even though that's true, I can't tell it to him enough. You know, it's like he needs to hear that from other MCs as well. You know, it's like, it's just like Pro, but it's like, no, QUO is what QUO does is marksman level expertise at what he does. And if you're looking for that kind of an MC, like I would vault him like to the top in terms of what it is that he does. And the thing is like, he'd say to me, he'd be like, oh, but you killed that verse. I can't. And I'm like, bro, did you even hear your own verse? Like my verse is better because it's in juxtaposition with you. I'm feeding right off what you do and doing something a little different. It's the same like when Fly's on the track. Fly's the best MC on the track, and every track he's on with us, he's on two verses, and I can't wait to hear QUO. I can't wait to hear Fly. And it's like QUO comes first, and I'm like, yo, QUO crushes Freedom Corner. But he does it in a way that you have to listen to it like 15 times. Whereas Fly, you can hear it a couple times and you generally know what he was saying. You know, and I'm a little more that way. But sometimes you got to, if I choose to do wordplay more heavily, I hit Fee today on a song that he likes. And I'm like, oh, bro, you have to hit that one like 12 times. Like it's a song you got to hit 12 times because I went heavy on the wordplay that you will not catch the first time. Minutia. And, you know, Fly on the songs that he did, I don't say he was surface level because he wasn't, because he had hidden nuggets in there too. You had to hear on the third and fourth time, but he gives you a lot in the first play, whereas QUO doesn't give you anything. QUO, you got to know his secret entire vocabulary, his codes and all that. And then once you know, you're like, bro, that was genius. You know what I mean? Like, so it depends what your metric is. And that's why for me, I want to be motivated to go change the world the first time I hear you. And then I want to be motivated to go change the world in a different way after I hear you on the second play. And I was like, oh, that was in there, you know? So when I find those kind of MCs, I'm in, it's bliss, you know? So I didn't tell you my full 5, but I'll just stop there. Shout out to my man, Chip Fu, by the way. You see what I did?
Man, Chip Fu.
Chip
doing
Fu.
New music too.
Hey man, we bumped a lot of on the way down to DC, man.
Oh yeah.
Heard a lot of Pharaoh and Chip until, you know, you had played it for me, but I think that's interesting perspective to help other people put in perspective why they're attracted to certain artists. And you know how hear, I guess, what could be a common or a popular MC or a song, and I think oftentimes simplicity takes first in most minds, in the casual fan.
Yep.
And so from the artist perspective, sometimes you find yourself kind of writing for the listener, sometimes. Yep. But it's never as fun when you're writing for yourself.
I'm changing mine. I'm changing these logos because they're in your head. Sorry.
When you're writing for yourself, man, it's just so much more fluent. It's so much more fun and exciting. That's the time when you listen to yourself.
Well, that's why it's embrace your music to begin with. And just to loosely quote, Talib Kweli, he says something to the effect that, artists write, art is an extension of yourself. When you pander to your fans, you write shallow and empty art. You know what I'm saying? Your fans supported you from the beginning because you were writing art that was an extension of who you were.
Yeah.
And so with me, it's always been like, I don't care if trap is popular. I don't care. Even though I got some trap songs coming. I just shocked Pro. But I don't care. Yo, but listen, my producer sent me some beats and I was like, if I don't jump on that, I'm a fool. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, it's that dope. Like, that dope. And he didn't send it to me with with the intention for me to use it. He's just like, hey, check this out, Jonah. This is something I'm working on. And
right.
I heard it and I said, that's mine. And he was like, what? Like,
I do that all the time, bro. I do that all the time.
I've always, the art I create is always stuff that I like.
Yeah.
I don't even consider, and I know other people do, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's their thing. I'm not going to knock those individuals, but I probably already did. I probably already did. But I create art that's an extension of myself, my heart, what I like, and if people like it, then hey, that's awesome. If they don't,
well, we got some of that art, so people gonna hear a little bit of Jonah Nathan tonight, man. So tell us what's up with the new titles, man. We got to talk about the Solomonic Journey, man. What's up with that?
So I hadn't been in the studio in a long time. You already know that. Stepped away from music since probably 2004. A friend of mine was putting out an album. Antoine, my man, DJ Triple Threat. The song "Confess Now." I stepped in the booth, and you already know what happened. You get in the booth, and you're home.
Superman.
You're home. You know what I'm saying? And I've done so many other careers, but hip hop is my home, and I'm home now, and I'm so grateful to be back home. You know what I'm saying? I love hip hop. Of course, I love Jesus first, but I love.
And thus the name here. So got to get me into the journey. Tell me about the journey, man.
Solomonic Journey. I was looking for a name for a group, and I could not come up with one to save my life. I'm watching Ben Shapiro, of all people, one day, and he has a guest on, and he describes their journey as Solomonic, and I think that describes all of our journeys. We've all set out to find things that satisfy our soul, and we've often come up empty. So with Solomonic Journey and my crew, it's God. It's God who satisfies a soul in time that's meant for eternity. And it's Solomonic because we all mess up, we all fall short, we all learn, we all grow through failure. So it's Solomonic. We borrow very heavily from the wisdom literature of the Bible. Thus, wisdom house in the streets. Yeah.
The vanity and vexation that Solomon stumbled upon.
Exactly, man. You're about to hear that right now. You're about to hear those exact words that you just spoke. But Solomonic Journey comes from that. I wanted to do something different. My old studio engineer, Ken Poe, Captain Ken, wanted to do a group for years. Finally, I stepped into the booth. The flame was ignited in my heart, and it just happened so organic. It wasn't contrived or forced. We formed as a group, and we've been out since March. We're a very new group. But
now I heard the Wisdom Shouts in the Streets. Now that one's out, right? Or no? Is that behind the scenes?
No, Wisdom Shouts is out.
Yeah, okay. Because I was like, if I heard it through like sound, like through Spotify. Like,
well,
I think
it's a remix.
We've been doing
a lot of remixes. We've been doing a lot of remixes.
Okay.
We have new stuff in the works, but the old stuff was put out so small. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yep,
it wasn't put out on the level that it is now. So we're trying to garner support. Put the SJ5 crew in everybody's ear, and then get them prepared for the new music that's to come. So Our Surrender was new. That first, our initial release that we put out, brand new music. And of course,
so all the people that are, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say all the people that are on the new Pro Tongue is a Fire one. Is that the 5, or are those just guests on that particular track? I don't know who the 5 is.
The only guest is Crusade. Matthew worked with her.
Okay, gotcha.
We still trying to get him to join the group. He's going to see this, and then he's going to feel very pressured.
So having the you were talking about the professions with hip hop and obviously as a man of the cloth, man of the word, pastor. What is success in your eyes in terms of the music, like in terms of the project, and have you guys thought about, okay, these are the tangible goals we want to hit that would make it a successful project for us?
I don't think success looks much different from what you would consider success, except that we're not trying to tie people's affections to us. But
big dookie ropes.
Jesus.
He's like, it could be. Yeah.
We want to share the gospel through this medium, of course. But just like I always say, quality hip hop that's Christ centered. We want to make good hip hop.
So making the good music is the success itself, then.
Making good music, sharing the gospel with people, sharing truth that sets people free. That's the goal. That's success. We would like the numbers. We'd like to do this, as a career. Of course,
right.
That's everybody's dream. I don't think
Absolutely.
that's different from yours. I mean,
sure.
We want this music to be in everybody's ears. Crazy. We've had so much. It's Christian hip hop, so to speak, which hip hop can't be Christian. It just can't. You can't convert hip hop. Hip hop is hip hop. That's why I hate that label, but
right.
I'm a Christian MC who uses hip hop, to share the gospel.
Yep.
But we work with secular cats too, you know what I'm saying? Like,
sure.
I'm still waiting for the Pro and Jonah remix, you know what I'm saying? And you and Fee do a song. Come on.
Absolutely.
But absolutely, it'd be dope. But hip hop can't be Christian. That's my worldview, and that's what I think my hip hop.
That's it's going out there with a strong statement. Hip hop can't be Christian. Okay, all right.
You can't convert music, but you can convert people. So
gotcha. I'm going to throw this out there. This is just on a sidebar, Jonah, because I don't know if you fully heard what we said earlier too. So, so it's you, meaning whoever comes, right? So Freddie Black, King Handsome. I don't know if y'all know some of these names. 1218, Rap Night at the Shaskeen. My man DJ Myth. Y'all heard DJ Myth from Beast
DJ
Over
Myth.
Beats. DJ Myth is spinning.
How about that new joint? Go.
Yeah, man. I-9, Sean Caliber, ProQuo, feet. Yo, we're gonna be pulling people up. You know what I'm saying? I got my invasion squad gonna be in the building too.
Invasion.
So
yo, I still got that CD, dude.
Yeah, man.
I saw you that day in somewhere in Mass.
We were in Cambridge. We were in Cambridge.
I followed the music.
Porter Square,
and I found Peter
at
the end of the music.
Yeah.
I followed the music and I found him. I'm like, get the heck out of here. I'm working with Teen Challenge at the time. And there he is, and he hits me off with an Invasion CD. I still got that. I should have brought it out tonight.
That had been a minute, man. That had been a minute. I almost forgot about that too. That's when you told me you were doing the pat. You like, you ain't gonna believe this, what I'm doing. I was like, all right, I'm ready. You like,
because you knew me when I was crazy.
Following the word. I'm like, yeah, that's how it often is, though. That's how it often is.
You knew me when I was crazy. So.
The word finds people. You know what I mean? So
that's exactly the journey.
No doubt.
And you got all this preparation in your heart, man, and God prepares you for salvation. And when you hear His voice, it's funny that you already know it's His. You know, no coincidence.
Wisdom shouts in the streets, and you can't help but respond.
Yeah.
So I got a question for both of y'all. I was thinking about this too when I was walking to my crib today. This is maybe not as controversial as Jonah's statement. Hip hop cannot be Christian. All right, I like that one. So I'm gonna come with this one. So I was thinking about this, and one of my neighbors has I don't know which one they are. I mean, we're in a big complex, right? Townhouse complex kind of thing. And they have this thing in the lawn, and it says Jesus is the reason for the season, right? Right in the lawn. And I was thinking about that, and I was like, how do y'all as Christian, especially with Christian rappers too, with Christians in general, who are both people of the word, like, you know, you guys are out there spreading the word, right? From metaphorically from the pulpit and from the mic, wherever you're at. How does that land if you all have, let's say, Muslim or Buddhist neighbors, and they're doing the same thing, and they're like, Buddha is the reason for the season? Like, would that grab your attention? Like, would you go like pull that out the grass, or like what would happen? I want to know. You gotta walk me through that one.
Bro. For me, and since you mentioned controversy, I'll mention this.
I didn't hear you mention what.
I'll mention this since we kind of like on the subject of just kind of like wowing people. All
right, here we go.
So, I mean, if you look at the calendar that they operated before the George era, you know, the calendar we're on now, you think about the calendar they operated on, the time of year that the birth of Christ would have technically happened wouldn't have been this time of year. And so what I tend to lend to is allowing people the freedom of expression, because what I understand about God is that when most of the world views and religions, we share a lot of things in common. And so for me, it's almost like building a house and a small portion of the house catches on fire, and you don't just tear down the whole house. You know, you just replace the roof. And that's how I view.
See, Jonah, he's very peace and love, man. I got to come to you on the same question, because Jonah get a little more evil with it. He'll be like, look, bro, he's more fire and brimstone. He's more Old Testament. You know what I mean?
Not anymore.
No.
So the Old Testament was for their reason and their purpose. And in my studies, I found that the Old Testament was incomplete. And so there was a need for a new testator in the New Testament to kind of really get the message across that people needed. And that's why Jesus came in the form that he came in. He could have came and just like, look, I am, you know. And,
I am that I am.
You know what I mean? He could have just directly exposed everything that people were doing as opposed to spending time, you know, fellowshipping with people to get them to the point of conversion. And so I just like, look, man, I listen to these people, man, let them talk and have their opinion. Because you know what? They got a good some of these people.
So
have
they can have the Muhammad is the reason for the season in the lawn, and you're good. All right, cool. All right, Jonah, what say you?
Similar foundation.
Jonah's covered his mouth already.
I'm playing. I think that people don't care what you know about until they know that you care, and it's not always a position that I've held. It's not always a posture that I've taken. You and I debated for 3 days.
Who is this Jonah? Facebook. Who is this Jonah talking
3
about?
days, bro. 3 days, you and I. 3 days. Passionate, heated.
What, online? You're talking like messaging, right? Messaging? I remember we were messaging.
You and I debated You and I debated on my page for 3 days.
Oh, your page. Yeah. That's what I meant.
Oh,
okay,
my goodness.
I wasn't sure if it was behind the scenes or if it was public.
I don't do that anymore. I don't think that's fruitful on Facebook, but that's another story.
Yeah, well, hey, times change too, man. A year is like a millennium on Facebook. So.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't think anybody's converted through a Facebook thread. You know what
Absolutely.
I'm saying? But anyway, I think God is going to get his people. God is going to get his people. We don't need to convict people with the Holy Spirit.
See,
I can't convert.
I'm kind of with you on that one. I
can't convert anybody. Mm-hmm. All I can do is share truth.
That's it.
And I do that through my music, and I do that through my life. That's it. So if my neighbor wants to celebrate whatever he wants to celebrate, whatever, I'm still going to share truth because our tolerance doesn't mean that I don't share truth or that I don't share my opinion. It means that I respect what my neighbor thinks.
Right.
Love him regardless.
So you and F.L.Y are in the same camp generally, because I mean I've had a lengthy discussion with F.L.Y about the same thing. So he's generally in the same general camp. So yeah, it's like you hear people on all, just like anything, anybody who's of any particular faith or any it doesn't have to be faith, any belief system. There's people at all ends of the spectrum. You know, there's people that are very extreme with, there's people that are kind of in the middle and people that are, to the other extreme. So,
and yet all those truths can't be true at the same time.
That's right. I mean, that's a fundamental pillar of logic, right?
Because then truth would be relative. And while you're asserting that truth is relative, you're asserting a truth.
Yeah. I mean, F.L.Y knows where I kind of go with this. So
So
I always go into this. I say this to people who are maybe murky at best about their beliefs and their faith. I always encourage people, I'd say, jump into, if you haven't already, jump into some of the cursory readings and discussions that take place about quantum physics, just generally quantum mechanics. And you have some wiggle room there. You have a lot of times people that are of science, right? I throw myself in that category. People who are of science sometimes have trouble with sort of the all faith kind of side, or right. And they'll say, but if you want to maybe find some wiggle room where you can say, like you were talking about these shit, like I'm looking at the 3 pictures of us, right? There's like a solid line between us, but it's really imaginary, right? It's like, it's not really a line. It's just where the picture ends and the next one kind of starts, right? And it's someplace there basically touching. And in quantum mechanics, without, again, I appreciate you saying making big concepts easy, but it's not always easy with things like with quantum, is that there's a lot of question to what you just said about the absolute of truth. Quantum would suggest that there is no objective reality. And that's coming from science. Now, that's a suggestion. It's not how everybody interprets it. So right. I qualify that with saying, for some of us who are immersed in quantum, such as myself, and I am nowhere compared to the people that are surround me. I'm in this think tank of like 70 something people in quantum. We're all faculty and we all work on developing materials. I just came from the Quantum Congress this week, the National Quantum Congress in DC, with people from around the world. And let me just tell you, there's billions in quantum, right? And it is the next internet because of what it can do. But one of the suggestions, if you read the tea leaves, is that for something to be real, it needs to be observed. And the act of observing disturbs. And it creates a situation, it seems to anyways, I should say, it seems to create a situation where it's that old adage of a tree falls in the woods and there's no one there to hear it, like kind of thing. Like, would it really make a sound? Right. And quantum seems to suggest no. That's the interesting thing. On many fronts, it seems to suggest no. So it has people of science going, what could possibly behind that? And the reason I say to people who are sort of murky with their beliefs or their faith is it's worth investigating. When you want to say, like a lot of times people falsely try to say, I feel falsely, they'll try to say, oh, there's a lot in common with science and faith. No, there's actually not. there's a lot of things that people say, oh, there's commonalities.
Well, I would say that true science has always confirmed faith. Because
yeah, I wouldn't say that, but
I would say
I know
scientists in the past used to say, bleed the individual to heal them, but the Bible said the blood is the life of the body. Science in the past taught that the world was flat, but Isaiah said that the world is a sphere. So I think true science is always caught up with the Bible, which is
anecdotally. I mean, more. I think
many more.
I think anecdotally you have far less.
But the Bible's not a
things
science.
You could pick out. No, it's not. But I'd say anecdotally, when the Bible stumbles into science, is how I feel. Like when it actually stumbles into science, it's few and far in between. It's usually the other way around. That science has pushed for a lot of people, like the belief system of, and I'm not saying this for Christianity, has throughout the world we've had countless myths about what's the sun doing, and we know that.
Well, what's beautiful about Christianity is that archaeology and history have always been a friend of the Bible, as opposed to other religions. Christian archaeologists and historians are stumbling over each other to view these discoveries, whereas other faiths hide these discoveries.
Yeah, and I would say the qualification of archaeology as Christian archaeology is something you won't find usually in science, right? You won't have someone go, there's Christian archaeology, there's, Judaism archaeology, you have archaeology, right? So
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, that's the gray area. But I would say to people that are wherever they fall, that there are things worth checking out on other sides of other disciplines, and I think that goes. I think that does go for faiths too. I think there's things worth and saying, because a lot of when there is commonality, it's usually interpretation errors. Like a lot of times there is something in common that runs through.
And bro, I've explored it all except quantum physics.
But see, and the ironic thing is, most people of faith are you don't find a big Venn diagram filled in the middle of the intersection with people that are science and faith. It's usually one or the other, and the exceptions are the interesting people. And I don't discount myself as a person.
Pascal.
Right. I don't discount myself as a person of faith either. It's that I don't have the same faith as you guys. Yeah. I have little faith. I don't have none.
You're in the middle. You're more from our relationship and rapport. You're more in the middle than you're saying.
Yeah, like there's things. Here's where I say that the shades of gray are, right. And we've got to get into some of Jonah's music because it reflects this probably better than my words will do. But is that if you take if you have atheists, let's say up here or down there, you'd probably want them down here. If you have the knuckle dragging atheist, right? So you have the atheist on the bottom, right? You have obviously you know where I'm going with this, and just sitting on top of the atheist, right? What do we have? Oh, about a message. No, we don't have those heathens. We have atheists, we have agnostics sitting just above them, and then I would argue we have theists, right? And so theist would be like right that, and then maybe actually let me reverse it. Let me say deist would actually come in right there. Probably your deist goes before and then the theist, and then maybe for you guys would say, putting other religions aside, we would say Christianity, right? And then you have your sects of Christianity, your different tributaries, and then you have your other religions, right? Wherever those fit in. But I would say that the deist and the agnostic have a lot in common. And I would say the agnostic and the atheist have a lot in common, but I'd say the deist and the theist have some in common. And then, of course, the theist and whatever religion you want to insert next have a lot in common. It's when you jump a couple layers away that there's not so much. And that's what I meant by science and faith, because science doesn't take anything on faith. It's the opposite. Like science says, this must be confirmed thousands of times. Like you can't say, hey, he walked on water once. No, he needs to walk on water every single time. You know what I'm saying? You need to go, like, it didn't happen. Everything in the Bible is somebody told you it. And so the science won't accept much of that when you're talking science because there's
can't even test love or like measure love.
Well, yeah, there's certain things where science
like
fails.
That. I mean,
science fails all over the place. Yeah, no, agreed. Science fails all over the place. But what it does is it lays out a bunch of things if you want to test something and verify, right? If this happened. And it doesn't even, by the way, most of the time incorrectly, people are like, oh, well, how come science doesn't prove? Science doesn't prove anything. First of all, it's not in the business of proof. Math, you could argue, is in the business of proof, and math is the language behind science, but science is to verify, right? And to test, and not even necessarily give you the why, it'll give you the how, right? It'll say, this is how you do X, Y, and Z. And if you want to check it out, you know, this is verifiable. Whereas faith, it's literally take it on faith. And the scientist is like, no, I can't quite do that. I need to verify that this happens for me.
I think in regards to faith, that God has shown us enough to believe, you know, him for what we do not see. So faith isn't a blind leap. Faith is based on evidence and substance. So I think, you know, I can believe in the sun even though I haven't seen it. I see its effects. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Fly, what say you?
No, I agree, man. And for me, I wouldn't say I am top of that list per se. I do believe that, for example, I believe that some form of religion, and even in Christianity, some people are too dependent, right? To a point that they almost use God as an excuse.
Right.
That portion of it, I disagree with. I do believe that God has set things in order, and there are principles that, such as all things come to all men alike. It rains on the just as well as the unjust. Some things are just a result of our decisions, as opposed to God's instant, you know, interruption of every day or everything that we go through or do, you know. And so that's kind of deist in a way. That God has given us the freedom of choice.
I told you, the deists are your close cousins.
You know what I'm saying?
They're close cousins.
But
I'm reading the comments, and it's like, you know, people want
one's not like
exhaustive systematic theology, and we can't do that on a show.
Yeah, so, no, not at all. You have to dodge and weave, bob and weave.
Yeah, like
weave.
Having a show here.
But we can take a deep listen now, however, to some Solomonic Journeys, and we go. And we have Journey 1 and Journey 2. I'll ask you. So I was about to hit them with a little bit of the wisdom. The melody was sticking with me a little bit as well, so it had me listening to it a couple of times.
Wisdom Shouts features myself, Robert Upchurch from the Tramps, and I'm going to date myself now, but he's from the '70s group from Philadelphia that sang "Burn Baby Burn," Disco Inferno, and Ken's doing guitar. And he's doing live drums in the hook.
Burn, baby, burn.
Soul Puppy. There you go, brother. That's Robert Upchurch singing in the background. And Soul Puppy, my man Renee Chalet, does the production. And I think when I do a remix, I want it to be better than the original.
I hear you.
And this is better than the original.
Got you. All right. Well, we're gonna get into it right now. We're gonna get some Wisdom Shouts in the Streets. So Much Soul remix. Solomonic Journey. All right, so here we go. Let us know what you think. I'm sure people are checking it out, so send in the comments and we will get them up there.
Yeah, there's a story, y'all. God's grace.
What we're gonna do right here is go back into time.
Life got me locked in this paradox of true lies. Try to maintain them when I can't, I find them getting high. None of these emotions have plagued a sober mind. Also burns inside, but I ignore the sign. In the church, a place of worship, even walked in spirit. But in the end, my flesh was still really seen. Still believe in God, though he ain't talking in a while. Ever since he took my dad, life's been kinda wild. Girl loves me, she doesn't lie what I do. Since I drink too much, all you think about is you. Selfish, I can't help it, I'm an only child. Mama's voice made me by herself and meanwhile I was out dodging cops and getting crazy high. They caught the virus through the iris of the needle's eye. I guess a man at his best is but a mere breath. Life knows your pulse, results turn to dust. Feel me, this was my life, far from Christ. Wise man's tragedy, lost in my pain. Time to live or time to die. Madness and folly versus the wisdom of the Prince of Peace. Yellow cloud, that's the feet. wisdom shouts in the streets. Give me my medication for the soul persuasion nurse. Whichever sorted of my memory during these outbursts. Now I'm blocked, calling peeps collective, won't accept. Where are my friends till the end? It seems I have none left. So I be wise when the same fate befalls the fool. We all die, people are living similar to prison food. Never satisfied with the portion life provides. Choose hard to swallow, yet despair such who keeps us alive. On a tear with no tears should ever fall. Don't have driftness, one's about to scale the wall. Time is short, so I sit back and how to play my moves. Say the drugs when I get out of here, I'm off with tunes. Not a change through the jail, or just some godly fear. For my earth, it gave me birth, and for her many tears. Not a change through the jail, or just some godly fear. For my earth, it gave me birth, and for her many tears. This was my life apart from Christ. Wise man's tragedy, lost in the vanity. Time to live, and time to die. Madness and folly versus the wisdom of the prince. Steps to defeat. Times haven't seen far, God so out of reach. Steps to defeat. I know the lie, say it loud, but wisdom shouts in the streets.
Let us move on.
No longer locked in this paradox of true lie. No longer want to die, the spirit is time you want to try. Took so long, so much unnecessary pain. Sex, the weed, the alcohol, the crack cocaine. Try to change for mine, but the tears weren't enough. Or could it be tough enough from a distance she was forced to love? Locked up again and even on the outs, I wasn't free. Kicked out the shelter in the winter, sleeping on the streets. Somehow God kept me through all this pain and strife. Was told I'm worthless, but he had a purpose for my life. Had to put it in check, can't be pimped by my flesh. A living soul, we by God more than a mere breath. See something deep inside, told me I was so much more. No longer mad at him, my arms are too short to spar. Something deep inside told me I was so much more. I threw my hands up and surrendered to the Lord of Lords. My friends, see that's not where the story ends. To my foes who will hold me to my former flows. Despite what you heard, the word get this brother changed. It won't happen overnight, but I'm on my way. Not a change, you the jailer to my mother's cry. Let him do for me what I couldn't do for I. Not a change, you the jailer to my mother's cry. I let him do for me what I couldn't do for I. This was my life apart from Christ. Wise man's tragedy, lost in my vanity. Time to live, time to die. Madness and folly versus the wisdom of the Prince of Peace. That's a defeat. Times haven't seen far, God so out of reach. That's a defeat. I know the lies say it loud, but wisdom shouts in the streets. This was my life apart from Christ. Wise man's tragedy, lost in my vanity. Time to live, time to die. Madness and folly versus the wisdom of the Prince of Peace. That's a defeat. Times haven't seen far, God so out of reach. That's a defeat. I know the lies say it loud, but wisdom shouts in the streets.
Yo. I think he's right about the remix. Fly, you didn't hear the original though, bro. What do you think, man?
The original.
What you say?
Playing the guitar on that.
That's my man Ken Polk. Captain Ken, we call him.
That guitar was real deal, bro. That was that you're gonna have people going, yo, was that a sample? You know what I'm saying?
Nah, he played live drums in the hook and he played guitar. Yeah. We're trying to move towards live instrumentation.
That's and I'm not just saying this because of the genre, but there's no reason that a song like that couldn't be played like as part of the I always forget the word. When they play it in church, they call it not. What's the word I'm missing?
The song service or the?
When they play music, they call it. Is it not inspiration? What do they call it?
You talking doing devotion?
Fly, save me. No, I'm talking like, you know, when you go up to like especially a lot of the Baptist churches, the non-denominational churches, they'll just have a group up there that's playing, and they are the
worship team.
The worship. That's the worship team. Yes, it always
talking about the praise and worship service.
Praise and worship service. Yes. I mean that you guys could be guests all over the place doing a song like that, and I know you got more in the tank. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't even need to be there though. That could be like on a Tonight Show kind of thing too, because it's very theatrical as well. You know what I mean?
It depends on what church you at, brother. You play that one, man. You would not be
people clutching their pearls.
I've been ushered out of churches in the past with the hip hop. So,
but I mean, if you want to keep it authentic, I mean, that's what people need to hear. People, like I was saying earlier, people going through it. You know what I mean? Like you're talking about the story. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, who's not going to relate with that? I mean, not everybody's going to relate with it. Some people are going to be clutching the pearls, but for the rest of the people, I mean, you'd be like, finally, you know how it is. You go to church and you're like, finally, someone's keeping it real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're gonna run you out of there, bro. If you do that doing devotion and praise and worship, they run you out of there. They'll give you your segment on Sunday night, bro, to play that. But
but I think if it's situated within what the pastor's speaking about, you could actually do something like that. You know, you could actually like
the last I've done it before. I've done it at churches.
Yep.
I love it. I've
performed at churches.
But I want to do it in clubs. I want to do it in stadiums. I want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
let me tell you, Jonah. That's why I do my music at Axe Pro.
Listen,
I do my music.
I don't want to be confined to the church because this message needs to go beyond the four walls of the church.
Absolutely.
I'm not trying to fish in the fish bowl, so to speak.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean that's always. Hey, that's the same way in education. I say it all the time. It's like the people that need to hear the message are the ones who are already there. You know what I'm saying? It's like we do surveys, and the people who answer the surveys are the people who, you know, they're good. You know, it's like when we're trying to find out, you know, what issues students are dealing with, we'll send out surveys, and it's the students that are good who are answering the question. And it's like, no, we need to hear the people that aren't good. And, you know, if I do faculty development, it's the same, you know, 12 faculty members who are going to come to everything. It's not y'all that I'm worried about. You know what I mean? So.
And yeah, don't get me wrong. Listen, I need to be reminded of this truth every day. So it has its place in the church, but it also has its place outside the church. That's all I'm saying.
So when you were talking about, you said hip hop can't be converted, and
the music, but the people can.
Right. So of course hip hop is, hip hop.
You mean the rap music? Yeah.
When we speak hip hop, we speaking about the actual music itself. Not being able to be converted, and we were talking about just the varying styles or the approaches that we use as writers. I grew up in the North, to acapellas, and it was just about the lyrics. And so when I stopped doing, basically mainstream secular rap and really, got into Christianity, got into church, and started to study the scriptures and read the scriptures, I actually changed how I wrote music because of that reason. And one of the challenges that I've found is that the challenge is being the MC that you want to be and being the messenger that you need to be are going to clash. And so your meeting is going to be and Pro can testify to this. When I write now, I simplify my writing because I want the message to be heard and I don't want it to be lost. If my desire and my ambition for doing it is to get the message out, to get the gospel out, it can't be buried in me trying to be a great MC. And so there has been, and I've probably been at this quest probably now about 10 years now, as far as making that conversion into from secular rap into putting gospel into my rap. It was intentional. And the reason why me and Pro get along so well is because I understand him, because that's always the sentiment of hip hop to me. Like you said, hip hop not being converted. Hip hop in its essence and being true is about the lyric, and the lyrics is and the depth of it. And the more depth and complexity to an artist are those that we all over the long term tend to respect the most. You know what I mean? And so it's the exact opposite when being a messenger for Christ. It's not about you at all. It's about him and getting the message across where it's clear, where it's clear, or getting it across with clear, where people can clearly hear or understand what it's about. And so that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun when you want to take it to the club and back into church and fight the naysayers.
I mean, I think in a genre where it's all about you, pointing others to truth can be difficult because we want to tie people's affections to ourselves.
Yep.
I mean, if you don't admit that, then you're not authentic.
Yeah.
But I'm careful. Like, I also don't want to practice false humility because I do have something to bring to the table.
Absolutely.
So, but I'm careful that when they look to me, that I point them to God, that I point them to Jesus, that I point them to truth. So, because if you watch me long enough, I'm going to let you down because I'm inconsistent at best. At my best, I'm merely stumbling forward.
Yep.
But I know a God who will never let you down, who's consistent, who's the same yesterday, today,
and forever,
and tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, it's difficult.
So you're just the man next to the man, is what you're saying. You're just the man next to the man who's next to the man. Right now, you're next to the man right now too.
Oh man, I love it, man.
But,
so I am just the man who's next to the man who's next to the man who's next to the man.
I want to shout out the crew real quick: Solomonic Journey, Ken Pope, Renee Chalet, Liz Loha, Antoine, my man DJ Triple Threat, and in this next song you get to hear all of them. DJ Triple Threat's not necessarily in the song, but he always lends to production. He always lends to cuts, whatever. My man, Adrenaline does the cuts in the next song. Adrenaline, who I work with on my original EP, Wisdom Shouts in the Streets. This is also a remix. Tongue is a Fire. And yo, Liz Loha spits. Now, when I first shared this song with Pro, he was like, "Hey man, could you maybe cut the song because it's really long?" Like he said, "You have a whole album in one song."
I wasn't lying.
He said, "You got a whole." And listen,
now it's a brisk 524.
We intended to cut it for the DJs, but the DJs, listen, this is our most listened to song. The DJs have been spinning this, like, I mean, thousands upon thousands of streams with this song. It's wild. And it's long, right? And listen, Liz Loha.
Yo, 5 minutes is a lot shorter than what it was before.
What a talented MC, right? But we didn't know she was an MC. She sang in our first release. Yep. And she asked me to do a verse in this song. The song was done, right? And I'm like, I guess she wants to sing. And when she spit the verse, I heard it on the phone first. And the phone didn't do it justice. Mm-hmm. So they sent me the mix from the studio. And I was so apprehensive because you know how it is, bro. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, you're the guy that says yay or nay.
Yep.
And that can affect relationships. Big time.
Tell me about it.
Come on, bro.
Tell me about
it. I'm sure you've been there. Me and my wife listened to this girl's her verse and were blown away. We took the headphones off. We looked at each other and said, "Where did that come from?" Like, yo, we had no idea she could rap. So I know y'all listening right now to the ProQuo Show. This is a long song, but if you want to hear the best part of it, you're gonna have to listen to the last verse.
What?
Liz,
See, that's how you do it right there. That's how you do it. You give him a reason to listen. You gave him a reason to listen. That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
She kills it. Like Lauryn Hill. I mean, she could rap and sing.
You know,
she's not Lauryn Hill. She has her own style. But
I stopped short of saying my top 5 when I was saying earlier, and Lauryn Hill is always right there for me. Like, I mean, if people get so into body of work, I don't care. I'm like, give me like 2 albums and I'm good. You know, like
Lauren's always in my top
I would love the Fugees to drop another album though.
Oh yeah, I mean absolutely, but you know,
really, like, come on.
It's like I want there to be another Matrix, but I don't think it's gonna happen. You know what I mean? So it's like
it's 2 people in my top 5 change, and the rest, like I said, it's a floating fire. But it's. And if I'm listening to Lauren, she's, and you know what I mean. Just depends on who I'm listening to or who I've listened to the most recent. You know, man, it's.
Well, if you're uttering even Lauren's name, you know what I'm saying. You got people's ears like listeners there.
Well, listen, this song is called "Tongue Is a Fire." It's the Pyrotechnics remix.
Let's run it.
Just Ken Polk on guitar, Soul Puppy on production, with lyrics myself, my man Crusade, Matt Werkler, and Liz Loha, and my man Adrenaline on the cut. Check it out.
Sorry to all of them. I couldn't fit in all the names, so it's just featuring lots of people.
Don't worry about it.
So, all right, here we go. All right, Jonah Nathan, Solomonic Journey, featuring a whole lot of people. Tongue Is a Fire, Pyrotechnics remix. I see what you did there.
Soul Puppy Music.
Jonah Nathan, Crusade the MC, and Liz Loha.
The tongue is so small, yeah, they boast great things. Don't listen to them rappers, they don't care about the kids. Beasts are tame, but who could tame the tongue? It's restless, evil, for the deadly toys on. Breath like fire, makes you choke. Cause what the fire can't consume, it'll stain with smoke. So burn, baby, burn, your mouth shit inferno. Words burn as birds and hurt like sticks and brimstone. Protect your neck bone from these MC cutthroats. They live for money, but spiritually they're dead broke. They put their whole hope in things that's temporal and gain the whole world for the price it is show. The thoughts are sterile, words they don't arrival. That's why I speak life from the pages of the Bible. Sport, godly apparel, all things are made true as we walk the road. Seldom traveled by the multitude. Damn, focus be ashamed that God's appetite. Focus on the material things in life. They exploit a woman and mislead our little girls. The limits of their horizons in this world. They target the head, trying to take out his pen. Waste no time when it comes to the young. So forget about the tongue with the gun. Cause the power of life and death is in the tongue. I reflect the eternal through this music. This is sacred, truth is naked. Bless it and break it. Take it and feed the thousands. It's that mustard seed faith that's moving mountains. No longer bound but driven to give up all. Trying to save these kids from the streets and its call. We can't let them fall victim. They're killing our children with words of deadly venom. They send messages like self-worth is equal to net worth. And in the same breath they bless God and curse. Living in the image of pimp hustlers and hoes. Reaping to the flesh where corruption is sown. Reach them before they're grown. Tell them not to be conformed. Don't cast no stones cause we all fall short. I got love for you player, I just hate the sport. I got love for you player, I just hate the sport. See there, the bullies be ashamed they God's appetite. They focus on the material things in life. They exploit a woman and mislead our little girls. The limits of their horizons in this world. They target the head trying to take out his men. And waste no time when it comes to the young. So forget about the funk with the gun. Cause the power of life and death is in the tongue.
Our theology matters. We fall into patterns that awkwardly start with these thoughts to establish these doctrines that serve us. We lost our discernment. It's we that we please, not the God who we worship. They say that our words create God's power that we negate. Like it's ours to demonstrate. We've allowed it to infiltrate and be part of the church service. Tongues that we don't interpret. Sermons without a purpose. And never needs aspersion. If ever the time we're urgent to tether your mind to verses that measure the likes of verdict, who secularize the person of Christ to remain sovereign. No shame in the name dropping. Instead of breaking chains, you're a slave to the bank profit. Instead of teaching the text, keeping the sheep fed, you're filling with regret, unwilling to be led by the men that the Father sent, who followed the footsteps of the one in whom were kept, the one that they reject. Whoa.
It's hard to speak peace when our nature is raw. The models get yours and life is so raw. But there's more to life than what you're talking about. So we're here to talk about what's all that's left out. I know it's hard to speak peace when it seems out of reach, but I refuse to pollute the air our kids breathe. Must pursue the things that build up our young. The power of life and death is in the tongue. I know it's hard to speak peace when our nature is raw. The models get yours and life is so raw. But there's more to life than what you're talking about. So we're here to talk about what's all that's left out. I know it's hard to speak peace when it seems out of reach, but I refuse to pollute the air our kids breathe. Must pursue the things that build up our young. The power of life and death is in the tongue.
Mama always said, watch what comes out your mouth. Mama always said, watch what comes out your mouth. Mama always said, watch what comes out your mouth.
Hey,
Mama always said, watch what comes out your mouth.
Forgive them, Father, they don't know what they speak. They're trading kingdom out for that. Old politicians and sneaks. I pray for lost souls that are caught out in the limbo. They're driven to the destination by fire. Roof the roof for the mouths on fire. The temperature of corrosion, carnal and worldly desire. Hate Jehovah Jireh, come provide a guide that's tired. Everything they heard in raps is wrapped around the next. They're wired. Only you can think the evil and make it glorify and stop the enemy that in his tracks and make them see soul fire. Oh, fire.
Shout out to Solomonic Journey, Soul Puppy Music, Captain Ken with Alpha Omega Music Studios. To every Christian rap artist that holds to the standard of sacred scripture, and every biblical preacher that rightly divides the word of truth, and everyone else, watch what comes out your mouth.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna say get the Bozak. Everybody else, get the Bozak. Everybody else, y'all can
get the Bozak.
So what you do is you start with.
I don't know nothing about that Eric sermon. Get the Bozak.
So you start with that joint in church, and then you warm them up to be able to do the deeper, kind of, hit them with the really, really. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying right there. See?
Yep.
That's it. That's the lineup. That's the lineup right there. Yeah, man. That same deal for me. I mean, it's like that. All right, that'll open more doors for you. You know what I'm saying? That's why you obviously get the streams you do and that kind of stuff. But people liking that one.
It's a long song.
It's an album.
It's an album.
That's the album single.
That's today's hip hop. That's at least 3 songs.
Oh yeah. Definitely. The next song we put out is "Apologize." We had a struggle to make it 2 minutes. It's like 1 minute and 56 seconds. So we're like,
I called it alternative hip hop, man. I don't know, man.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's one of my hashtags too.
Crazy.
Yo, F.L.Y got a new joint out, by the way, man. It's called Go.
It's dope.
Yeah, and I was kidding him. I was like, yo, you stretch a 16, man, better than anyone I ever heard. He dropped 2 8s. But he did it around mid scratching, and so he, it wasn't just like a loop. You know what I'm saying? And so it's dope. It's a dope concept to do. I get tired too. Like I'll be like, I got like these 4 16s. Maybe I could smush them into like 3. Maybe I could smush those into 2. And I'm like, can I just do 1? Like sometimes, and then just make another song.
You can do 1.
I know, right? I know. Feet showed me the path too. But Jonah, I mean, you could just put breaks. Actually, I'm not even kidding. Like you could make. Obviously with TikTok, you can make each of those its own little solo, and you could promote them all at the same time and be like, yo, this is the same track, and get people curious to hear the full thing.
Put on Facebook and I'll take each verse and make it a reel.
There you go. Yeah. Absolutely. And just be like, yo, would you believe this is one track? Everyone drops one at a different time. Be like, yo, this is all one track. Yeah. It's like how it's like soap operas. I watch a soap opera. I think this is the same soap. My wife be like, oh, yeah. She watches Days of Our Lives, yo. Oh. I watched the show like 30 years ago. Like when I was a kid, I was watching the show and the same characters are on it. I'm like, yo, this is same characters, yo. Same people. Yeah. I mean, there's obviously new characters or whatever too, but that works. That kind of promo works. But I'm saying you apply the same thing. Be like, yo, you like this person? Someone likes this person? Someone likes this person? Now you can hear them all together, So.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
No doubt.
Y'all and F.L.Y just waiting to do a track too, man. It'd be like, who preaches harder?
I know. What's up, man?
Preach your battle.
What's up, bro?
Whenever you ready, brother.
Let's do it.
You family.
It'd be who has the sharper sword? Which man can preach the word more?
I saw you using an action figure to block a photo earlier.
That was my son actually doing it. I was trying to take a picture of him. I know. I think the way I posted it, it's kind of confusing. It was my son. He put up Captain America to block. He was wearing a Minecraft sweater. Christmas. He learned that those are called ugly sweaters, ugly Christmas sweaters. He's like, Daddy, and I had a nice one the other day, and he goes, oh, Daddy, that's a nice ugly sweater. I was like, no. That doesn't apply to every sweater. Like this is a nice sweater.
I just want to let people know that they can follow Solomonic Journey anywhere, any platform. I even found out that we're on Pandora today.
What? There you go.
Had no idea.
Now,
but Linktree Solomonic Journey.
Now you got to get
everything, man.
Yeah, man, and that always opens up that people that know me know that'll turn into a whole nother journey about royalties and publishing, and Pandora works differently than Spotify, and you don't get them just from filling out your typical BMI kind of stuff.
Listen, I did DistroKid back in March, and with just on Pandora now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that works, but been dragging my feet with the publishing. Well, I'm getting that done right now as we speak. Missing out on a lot of money because
yeah.
Shame on me. Shame on me.
Almost everybody is, man. Almost everybody
Shame on me. I'm missing out on pennies.
Yes,
I'm just playing, but still, it's money, right?
That's
still
right. It feels good to know it generated.
Fractions of a penny.
And yo, Lord Claude,
a third of a penny. Yes, sir.
I haven't even had a chance to, congratulate you on the song on the movie soundtrack. What?
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's movie
poetry, bro. The track is insane.
Hold that thought. Let me share this with you because this is more about what you guys are talking about right now. We'll get back to that. So I went over here to these charts, and these are the top 10 Christian hip hop lives charts. All right. So you got this is the Lift Me Up song, the Wakanda song that Rihanna did. Is it Rihanna or Rihanna? What's the jury on that? Rihanna?
Yeah, it's Rihanna. That song was not that good.
All right.
That's on the Christian hip hop charts.
We got bro, number 1. We got now this chart. Take it with a grain of salt. This is mostly a college chart. This thing we're on this chart as well too. But I always remember that they have hip hop. They have Christian hip hop on here. So I was just checking it out. How many of these people do we know? I mean, obviously we know Rihanna. Obviously we know Lecrae.
I can't see the list though.
Oh,
really.
my bad. How about that?
Well, that's what my lack of publishing is preventing me from getting on those charts.
Okay. Yeah, I know
there you go.
Most of the people on there.
Yeah.
Is that a legit?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Cannon.
KB. Yeah.
So what do we got to do to get Jonah Nathan up on these, man? We got.
I got to get my songs published.
Yeah. Well, it's not, I mean, I kind of facetiously sort of have the answer as well too. I mean, some of it you gotta pay to have somebody bother all these DJs and send it to them, and if they like it, they play it, kind of stuff. Well, we do a lot of that too.
That's how Rihanna got to the top, man. She paid to be there, man. That song was not that good.
Well, hold on, though. Let's say this: if you got $1 million, right, you can just send it to more DJs and you can bombard them with stuff, right? If you got $500, a lot of DJs aren't getting your record, and we function more in the latter. So it'd be like, hey, let's couple up $700 and send it out as many people as we can. And even though it's not vinyl going out in the mail, it's like somebody has to take their hard sweat equity and try to work those charts for you. And there's only so many people they can bother if you got $700, right? You know what I mean? Right, if you got $7,000 and you're going to work there for a month, they can make that their full-time job. You know what I'm saying? And they literally are going to contact everybody. It's like, because how many hours are in a day, So it's not just the money. The songs obviously got to be dope, and so Rihanna, you don't need to convince any DJs. That's the thing. So it isn't just because the money, it's because of the equity that's already went into the name. And I think the same is true for Lecrae. I haven't heard that song, but it's like, Lecrae is unbelievably dope. So it's like, I'm gonna play anything he sends me,
Actually, the Lecrae joint's good. The King Jesus KB joint's crazy. Rihanna, have you heard the Rihanna song? Have you heard it?
I heard it.
The song it's very basic. It's not really. It's because it's who is Rihanna. Number one, they're basically paying off the equity that they just assume want to hear Rihanna. And I mean, a lot of these people that they record for, they own the media in some senses. So it's money. Is if it's not money being put out directly for this, it was money that's been put out at some point.
That's what I'm saying. The equity, sweat equity, or the money equity, whatever you want to call it, the equity. It's like Michael Jackson dropped a new record while he was alive. You're just playing it. I mean, it's like, it doesn't matter. It's going to make the charts. So, well, with that note, let's scroll up. Let's scroll up and see your boy up here, or your boys. We got top 30. We got right now. We got Omega Red's been up on the show. Paula Brown.
Listen. I want to get on that.
Hold on. Run the jewels. I like that. Professor Lyrical Masquerade. Now, this is what Jonah. Remember, I said hold that thought. Hold that thought, right? So hold that thought. We got Professor Lyrical Masquerade. Number 20 was 21 last week, right? We got ProQuo, The Devil's Dancing. We put that out at Halloween. It's still going up a little bit. It's at 12. Last week was 13, right? Robert Glasper, man. You're talking Grammy nomination. This dude is all over the place. Yeah. ProQuo Hendo, that jump from 11 to 5. That's a big jump up for us, right? So, and this joint for us is really, really legit. But the reason I made me think of this, Jonah, is because that's 4 joints at the same time. You know what I mean? It's like, and don't forget the fee joint we've been pushing as well too. So it's like, and which has been all over the charts. Now there's different charts out there. So this chart is a West Coast dominated chart, but this dude is one of the most long dudes in the game. His name is Nasty Ness. That's him up there. He started out with a Posse on Broadway, Sir Mix-a-Lot. That was like his fame. That was his label.
Posse on Broadway.
Yep. So that was this dude.
I know.
And he's been running the charts since then, bro. And so he's like one of the more respected people in the radio game, especially out on the West Coast. And but I say that meaning that like for us cats who are, you know, we're not rocking with $1 million and stuff like that. I appreciate you even mentioning the movie thing, but it's like we put that out, right? And the strategy was that we were at the conference with F.L.Y. Remember I was talking about this. We were like, should we actually even focus on that song? And kind of the answer we got from the people to speak to what you were talking about, Jonah, which is publishing, is they were like, well, you know, you don't know if the movie's going to be big. So basically we kind of settled on, we'll put it out, but we won't really promote it until we find out what the movie's going to do. And so the movie's been winning all kinds of awards now it's doing all the film festival runs. And until it picks up distribution with whatever they do, it'll probably be Netflix or whatever. Then the timing of promoting the single will be there. So it's like, I don't want to say it's back burner because they're doing a lot of stuff in their own, but I can't even promote it right now because we're working on the ProQuo songs and the Professor Lyrical Joint, whatever. And it's like I'll do an interview and I got, you know, maybe 5 minutes to talk on a traditional interview. And it's like, yo, hey, we're going to play Dive In It right now. Yo, you guys got another song out called, you know, Devil's Dance. And what's that about? And, oh, yeah, by the way, I did this Masquerade song. It's kind of similar. It's like a Halloween vibe. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? You're out of there. And it's like, oh, by the way, I got this movie song you got to check out, you know. But it's tough, man. It's tough trying to even make a dent on these charts. And when you do, it's like you don't want to let go. You know, it's like, oh, we got a little foothold. People know who we are now. You know, like you had to sell the ProQuo name for a while. They don't even know who that is. And you know, who's this Professor Lyrical guy? Is that the same Lyrical? Was that X-Cow? Is that Low Upload? Is that Invasion? Is that, and Fee's doing stuff? And it's a lot, you know? Yeah. So it's a lot. Well, you gotta keep, same with you. You got names. So like, who's Solomonic Journey? You know what I mean?
They should know you, brother. They should.
Well, you know, but I'm just saying, I appreciate it, but it's just saying,
really.
Yeah, I appreciate it. But if you send a record to someone who never heard you before, right? You know what I mean? You gotta, like what happens is amazing, this is what's great, Jonah. This is why I'd encourage you to, you know, dabble the foot in the water out there with, you know, trying to work a record to radio as opposed to just the streams. Is what happens is you're always brand new to people who've never heard you. So we'll have people like literally we'll be doing an interview and they'll be going, oh my God. Like they'll be like, oh, this is unbelievable. Like where have you been? You know, and it's like, well, you know, it's kind of like, where have you been?
We have about 50 plus DJs spinning our stuff worldwide. We have a huge following in the UK right now.
Oh, so, dope.
Which is man. We had a DJ out there, DJ Zorro out in the UK that was spinning our stuff before we even contacted him. He hit me up and let me know he's spinning our stuff. I started sending him a whole bunch of music, and now he wants to do a remix of one of our songs. So, I mean, we got the DJs and the label / distribution group I'm working with, Higher Power Entertainment, new label, new distribution group.
It's a dope name.
But they have me, you know, connecting the artists with the DJs because that's my thing. The DJs, we can't do it without them. Can't do it without them. Down here in Miami, I'm on a secular, and dude, that's what I love. I love when the secular stations embrace Solomonic Journey.
Sure.
Because this is really, there was a time when Christian hip hop was considered corny, and rightfully so in some regards. Not in all regards. Not in all regards.
People just think Christian is dope, and that's not true.
But I'll tell you, those secular stations are snatching us up right now.
Dope.
And it feels so good. It's just hip hop. That's it. It's hip hop. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what the worldview. You know what I'm saying? If you're making quality hip hop, they want to play it. They want to play it.
Yeah, there's a catch-22. I get it, and it's the same thing with us. It's like we talk all the time. Fly, me, QUO. We talk LD. We from a strategy standpoint, it's like we really want to put out Freedom Corner, right? And Freedom Corner, we did like a blast to a bunch of DJs, and so every now and then, if you go on my Twitter page, you'll see DJs that are playing it, right? Just kind of off the strength, right? They're playing it, but we haven't done a promo for it. We haven't done like the whole press release, the whole thing like we done with all those songs right there. They're being played because there is a really nice package that they're getting, right? They're getting a professional person call them and be like, yo, ProQuo is going for ads on the 15th. You got to check this out, blah, blah. And the dude sends fire. And so they check the stuff, and the dude has a reputation. Now, I think anything Fly's on, we should immediately send to Christian charts. You know what I mean? We should be like saying, yo, this is a dope inspirational Christian rapper on this who anchors this track and kills it. And if you listen to the song, as you said, I don't curse in my stuff. What defines, a Christian rapper from a rapper who's doing the exact same thing and isn't necessarily talking about Jesus in every verse, right? You know what I mean?
I have you on all my playlists, like I said before.
Yeah,
I'm all my playlists.
The Rihanna's
I'm Christian friendly.
You are, but you are to what he's explaining as far as secular, because if you listen to even in secular hip hop, you hear a lot of hallelujah and thank you Jesus, and so you're hearing world views and world religion being brought into secular artists' music as well, on in and out. Now, and then you take that what he's saying, the popularity, but to your point, Pro, we just looked at that college list, and at the top of the Christian hip hop list was who? Rihanna.
Yeah. Somebody who doesn't even, profess Christ.
Doesn't profess Christ, who doesn't profess Christianity.
Does she in her private world or no?
And it was not, but it was that song.
God doesn't need any secret agents.
Right.
That's for sure.
And the song was a soundtrack song. Really, it wasn't even intended. It was meant to be inspirational. It's related to the movie itself and just the theme of it. And it automatically got considered Christian. So, like you said, to your point, the idea of, we're doing a song and it's clean and it's inspirational. It covers all the bases. I don't see why I guess a strictly Christian hip hop radio station, it wouldn't jump all over that.
Well, Jonah, I think that, marketing it to both sides of the field makes a lot of sense.
Say it again. You break up. You're breaking up a little bit.
Like selling it to both sides of the fence makes sense. I mean, I think you should work regular, secular, as you said, stations, and also make sure that everyone in the Christian lane knows who you are. Is there a focus? Would you say on more than one? I mean, if you gotta spend $1, like you spend 50 cents on one, 50 cents on the other kind of thing. I guess I'm saying. In terms of like,
is it breaking up for you? I don't know why it's breaking up for me.
No, it sounds like you're being fast forwarded, Pro. I guess.
Yeah, a little bit.
Huh. I don't know. It must be my connection.
I just feel like hip hop is hip hop, regardless of the worldview. We've been having people coming out with the 5% of worldview, Muslim worldview, and the Christian worldview is the only one that gets kind of pushed to the side. You know what I'm saying?
Why you think that is?
Because people don't go after the.
You think that because you're Christian rappers and you're hearing it more.
People don't go after the counterfeits. Oh, don't get me started now.
There's the old Jonah.
People don't go after the second runner-up. You know what I'm saying?
There's the old Jonah.
There he is.
I knew I get him, bro. I knew I get him, bro.
Yeah, you got him.
Yeah, you got.
That's what I was trying to. That's what I was trying to pull out.
It was a setup. Oh, it was a setup. Oh man.
Oh man.
That's what I'm saying.
It's the purity and the honesty that the people appreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's important, man. People get to hear the affirmation, man, of the strength in faith and belief, and the criticism that you take for what you believe, and you got to be able to stand firm on it.
Oh, speaking of criticism, y'all had Daz on recently, right?
Yes. I saw what I know. He's talking about the Jay-Z thing,
bro. Oh,
yeah.
Nah.
Oh,
So I sent I sent my music to Daz, and he was like, "Yeah, you have potential." I was like,
oh,
"Talk about a brother keeping you humble, right?"
okay.
I guess Daz is in my life to keep me humble. But
Wow.
anyway, want to give a shout out to Daz right now. What up, man? How you doing?
That's crazy. Yo, I wanna
What up,
Dad? Yeah, he was giving it to Jay-Z too. Y'all can hear me okay now or no?
Yeah.
He was giving it to Jay-Z today on a post. He did a post and he was like, "Hey, now that I've heard King's Disease 3, he said, I gotta say Nas takes the title of consistent." I was like, consistency? Okay, maybe. Hey, let me show you one other chart while we're on the chart topic. So this is
I've
the one
always
that we
preferred Nas.
got you. This is just a little bit more chart game here. So this is the NACC chart. It's the biggest one. It's the one that really matters. So this is North American community and college rated. There's over 200 stations that report to this nationwide, right? And so we are here at number 20. We were 20 last week, but it's the full album. And you see, we've put a lot of songs out from the album. And a lot of times when the full album gets promoted, they're ranking like our albums, and every now and then a single will jump in, you know, if the single has enough strength. You see some big names on here, right? I Love Run the Jewel, like that's cool. We got Danger Mouse, we got Black Thought, we got Samp of the Greats on all these charts again. Robert Glasper, you got Megan Thee Stallion, you got who else is on here? Oh, and down here Black Star, and there's Nas, right? Now Nas was a piece ahead of us last week. He was 19. How did his album fall to number 28 and ProQuo is at number 20? That's what I want. I'm happy. And Killer Mike's down there at 22 looking up. You know what I mean?
Dope. That's why.
I appreciate it. Number 30, I mean, but no, I appreciate it. But at the same time, you know, it's like you got to take these with a grain of salt. But I think when you're in that company and there's DJs looking at it, I guess what I'm saying with the whole secular versus the mainstream kind of stuff is that I think you do want to force the door open as much as you can in sort of secular lane to see who will play. There's some people that just are never going to play anything that's Christian. They're just going to be like, no, not playing it. Yeah. Even if they are Christian, that's the funny part.
I have those stations that I deal with.
Yep. But I mean, that must be especially painful when you know it's a Christian DJ and you know what I'm saying? And they just don't want to play it because they don't want to lose listeners, that kind of stuff, you know?
Oh, it's not the Christian DJs that I have a hard time with. It's the other DJs.
Okay. Sounds like you've had some experience with this.
Yeah. I'm actually streaming live right now, JC.
Yeah, it's rough, man. It's rough. It's rough, man. It's a journey, man. But when you do the art because you love it, man, really the results is just, you know, the additional aspect of it. There's that part of you, man, that you want to succeed at everything you do when it comes. Because if you're going to do hip hop for the participation of hip hop, then your success would be the volume in which your songs are listened to, played, or streamed, or you know whatever. And so you do it to gain things. If you're doing hip hop to make hip hop, you're making music for yourself, and you want that popularity. You want everybody to know who you are. You want everybody to hear you, and you want to be in everybody's top 5. And so that's a real aspiration. Now, from just a human standpoint, you know, when you're doing it for like with the gospel or something like that, that's very comfortable to me because you want to reach as many people as you possibly can. Same regard. So those are some of the similarities that I think about too when it comes to just like pushing hip hop, and like they're just kind of wedging the door open wherever you can. Because whether you have a message or you just trying to gain fans, just the idea is still to try to get it in front of as many people as possible.
Yeah.
I had a moment this morning. I parked my car in DC and I was going to the speaker conference. Actually, no, yesterday I was speaking, but today I was just attending the second day of the conference, right? So I get in. So I'm running a little later because I don't really have to be there at the exact time, right? So I'm trying to get this spot. It's a meter. And I do the thing on my phone, and it's like, now there's a problem with the meter. And I'm like, what? It's like, it's reserved something's going on or whatever. And I'm like, man, what is it? It doesn't say anything there. So I walk back in my car and I'm looking and I'm trying to look at the sign ahead because it's crazy with the meters, right? Because it says like right here, it says you can be towed. Right here, it says it's legal. So I look at the one in front of me and I go up to that one. This dude hops out of his car. He goes, is there a problem? Right? And I'm like, you better sit your butt down. There's going to be a problem. That's the first thing that went through my head, right? And I had to catch myself, right?
About to be a problem.
Because normally I'm like peace, love, and happiness. But when someone jumps up like that to me, my reaction comes from a, like that mind state, right? But then I quickly, I could hear myself trying to count myself down, right? I'm trying to I'm like, you better sit your, like that's what I'm thinking, right? And he's like, no, you're, and then he's like, no, you're looking at my car. You've been over here looking at my car, grilling and checking me out. I'm like, bro, take it easy, bro. First of all, let me just run you a situation. I'm a rapper, right? I go, and I'm a professor. And I'm going into this place right here, and I don't give two flying ones about your car, bro. I didn't even notice your car. I'm looking at the meter in front of you, right? Because I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with this app that's telling me this is a reserved spot. So, bro, go on, carry on with your life, and have a good day. And he was like, he's like, oh, wow, this guy wasn't watching me, right, to try to arrest, like call him in and make a citizen's arrest or whatever. I was like, well, you settle down, right? And he realized it wasn't about him at that moment.
Citizen's arrest.
He had one of the moments where he was like, I get that, if someone looks like they're looking at your car or whatever, but seriously, are you going to jump out of your car in this day and age, right? And actually come up to me, right? Almost, I started walking in the other direction when he started coming around the cars. I'm like, I don't need any kind of experience here going on at this moment after I got a little calmer. And I'm like, bro, chill, bro. I was like, relax. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about you and your car. I didn't even notice your car. I'm not even looking at you. And that's the funny thing is even with all these lists and this self-promotion we talk about, the average person is not looking at you. They're not looking at your sneakers. They're not looking at your hat. Fly, you can be as fly as you want. Most people are not going to. I mean, you're exceptionally flies, but because you're so over the top, we're going to notice you. But it's like, I might think someone's paying attention to my whatever that I like, whether it's the stuff behind me, whatever it is. Most people are about themselves. They ain't even paying any attention. The only thing that grabbed this dude's attention is when he thought I was paying attention to him in the wrong way because he was so, almost insecure about the whole thing or whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, the work that we have to do as artists to wash ourselves of this kind of self-centered that we have, right? And it's like, yo, look at me. Look. And so let me just finish this thought, right? So I get into the conference and I'm talking. I end up talking at this thing, pass the mic to me or whatever, because I was doing a thing yesterday. And so I said something about, I was talking about introverts, right? And I was like, being an introvert, and this guy laughed. And he's like, yeah, you an introvert. And I was like, no, bro, I'm a massive introvert. This is all learned. I don't rap because I want attention. I benefit from the attention, but I don't like attention from you looking at me, staring at me, and now I have to have a conversation with you. I actually don't want to have a conversation with you if I don't know you. I would rather not talk to you. Truth be told, I don't know my neighbors. I'm not like, oh, Jesus, love them. Nope. Jesus wouldn't be happy with me because I don't know my neighbor's name except for the one next door because, I see them every single day. But the people across the street, no idea. I might know 3 people in the immediate complex of 12 places. I got no idea. I got no time for you. I'm going in my house. I'm not looking at you. I'm not talking to you or whatever. And you could say it because I'm about myself or whatever. But it's like, I got a lot to do. There's a lot of things on my plate. I am not trying to socialize. And hip hop forces us to be out in front. Now, I've rationalized in my head. I've sat around and thought about it. And I put this out there for you guys too. It's like, I know what I'm going to do with the attention. And I've thought of the good that I'm going to do with the attention. When the platform is provided for me, I know what to speak about. When I'm speaking tomorrow at a thing with a bunch of hundreds of students, right? And talking to them about sort of being a normal person, professors aren't crazy or whatever, and why you should maximize college and trying to have it's like I know what to do because I've thought about it. When the spotlight's on and someone says, "Yo, what are you about?" I can answer that in a soundbite. You know what I'm saying? And I know that if you follow my path, I'm not going to lead you into the worst stuff that people are fearing about, in pop culture or whatever, we're talking about, whether it's the movies or hip hop or the messages we don't want or whatever. I'm not trying to take your kids down a path where I'm trying to sell them sex, drugs, and violence and blah, 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 right? And I know that I might be able to lead some of them to the water, some of them to the water that some of them may want, not all of them. And I'll provide for you a potential option. And I know that I'm going to do right, hopefully, by my family. Those are my intentions. So it's like my intentions are good. And I don't need it to be all about me. I would rather deflect and go find something else that I can point you to. And in fact, I think of myself as like a resource broker, especially in higher education too. It's like, oh, let me put you onto this over here. Oh, let me show you this over here, right? As much as I can, but not because I like playing matchmaker, just because I know where the resources are. So I'm saying in a convoluted way that I've thought about like what I will do when the attention is on me, so that hopefully can better the world and hopefully, yes, better the circumstances for my family and the people that I love, right? So I got that kind of figured out. And so stripping away from both of you guys F.L.Y and Jonah, stripping away the whole secular versus non-secular, if you can, why should an artist pay attention to your music, come to your show, right? And how are you going to spin that in for more good for others? And do you have that in a soundbite?
For me, essentially, it's about being able to help people become the best version of themselves. And like you said, I know God has blessed me in a way where he has given me a level of knowledge and understanding, especially in professional aspect. And we've had this conversation hundreds of times about just the intent and the purity of really just having the intent to just lead people to lead people better than how you find them,
Mm-hmm.
And that's my motive. My motive is, and it's not just for me, it's not just about religion
Mm-hmm.
or salvation. For me, it's about one of my favorite scriptures in the New Testament. It talks about how Paul planted Apollo's planting, Paul watered, and God gave the increase. And I realized that I may not always know what my role is in that particular agricultural metaphor is, and so my endeavor is to just always help people become the best version of themselves. I don't know where I am. So for this person, it may just be helping them get a job to better provide for their family. For this person, they may want to know more about Christ. And, and so that's my motive with the spotlight. Like, I want to be able to take that time in that moment to help as many people as I possibly can, financially, professionally, in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Wherever God has me in that, like I said, that agricultural metaphor at that time, that's my motive every day, really every day. And we had this conversation, that's what I do with my life anyway, as whether it's, like I said, starting a program with at-risk youth or leading the youth group or volunteering at the prison or something like that is just my life mission. And I feel like as a hip hop artist with a bigger stage and with, more access and more resources, I can just be more helpful to people.
Solomonic one?
Well, contrary to what Daz thinks, I'm just playing. I'm just throwing those.
Daz. Daz one.
Yeah, I hope he watches this. But we just make quality hip hop. That's it. It's good hip hop. It's not grown folk or young folk. It's quality hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
And truth misappropriated won't set anyone free.
Mm-hmm.
We offer people truth.
Mm-hmm.
Liberating principles that will impart freedom through our music. That's it. Quality hip hop.
Easily said. I always find like the preachy stuff. I do it too. Like not in a literal sense preaching, but anything that I have is like people. We have this conversation too, F.L.Y. Be like, yo, do you get any raps on math? No, I generally don't. I generally don't. like people don't see me and go, even though I'm brought in all the time, right? Talking about like school and careers and hip hop and education, blah, 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 all the topics that I'm brought in for. And people ask that question. And it's like, no, I don't got the whole, this is the cool math way to do it. Like song. That song doesn't exist for me. And people are like, you got to be kidding me. You don't have a math rap song? I'm like, yeah, I got ones for my son and stuff like that. But it's like, I'm not trying to beat you over the head with it. I'm trying to hit you a little bit over here. You know what I'm saying? Say, hey, if you check this out, you might like it, because no one is encouraged to do so. Like you said it earlier, Jonah, with the quote again, people need to know you care, and people care when they know you care, kind of thing. Right. And
sure,
they don't, you can be the slickest talker ever. If you selling cars, if you selling Jesus, if you selling math, if you selling whatever, people need to know that you're a good person. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And it's like,
because there was a time where I cared more about truth than the God that it pointed to and the people that it set free.
Mm-hmm.
And people feel that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it becomes a little cold.
Turn anyone on.
Yeah, it becomes a little cold. It's the same problem we have with STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, right? It's like, no, the right answer is what matters. It's like, no, it's how you treat people. They're not coming to find the right answer, It
took me too long to arrive at this conclusion. But I'm glad I'm here.
Oh, I will take all the credit. No, I'm kidding. I'm like playing like dots.
The people, after the baby,
I'm totally kidding.
3 days.
I was
for
kidding.
3 days, dude.
Yeah.
3 days.
3 days. It's very prophetic.
3 days and 3 nights. Just kidding.
Very prophetic.
But
at least it wasn't 40 days and 40 nights.
You definitely lended towards that. You were one of the people. One of the more intelligent, more capable that I engaged, and also able to engage passionately, because opinions are held with there's so much emotion behind certain opinions and things like that. And you and I were able to have that dialogue. They say iron sharpens iron, but sometimes metal is clanging against metal and sparks.
Yeah.
But you guys, you and I were able to have that and still come away, and be friends. And actually be closer because of it.
Absolutely. I think, I say this all the time. People I've battled with, I'm really good friends with a lot of those people too. That actually is common. We see that in boxing, all kinds of, people. Once you spar with someone or whatever, you kind of, you know them a little bit better. And
yes, man.
So I would add too that whether it's a debate or it's a question or it's a battle or whatever, when you get a chance to build with someone, I think an important truth for me where I sit is that I'm not too willing to say, oh yeah, I'm really sure about this. I'm not sure about anything. I don't be like, I shouldn't say anything. There's a few things that are as close as you can be about sure. Like with 99.999% probability, I can calculate when I drop this exactly what time it's going to hit the desk. And it's going to do it almost, and I'll say almost, right, every single time. Because with like 99 point whatever percent probability, and quantum actually talks a lot about this too, this probability is uncertain, it gets into Heisenberg uncertainty principle, blah, 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 blah. We can never be certain, right? That it's like tomorrow's not promised kind of thing, right? In a physics sense. Mm-hmm. I don't know much other than with 100%, surety, other than just a few scattered things. Everything else is a work in progress. And I think when
Erykah Badu said it best when she said, the man that knows something knows that he knows nothing at all.
Yeah. I mean, isn't it crazy when you see people like swearing up and down how much they know? Like you mentioned flat earth, or like one of my life's goals is to explain to people the irrationality of flat earth theory, right? It's
my goodness.
It's unbelievable, right? And so it's on so many fronts that we can't even get into the conversation because people like to do red herrings and minutia, and they're pulling you over here. And it's like, bro, that's not the big topic of why that's so stupid, right? It's like there's a million other things down here of why that's so stupid. But you can't say stupid to people because they get all hot and bothered. And it's like, we can say stupid right now. It's like blah, blah, blah. But I can't be like talking to people like that. I'm going to lose them in 5 seconds. Yeah. And it's like, even though I think it's a cockamamie kind of thing to be thinking, let me explain to you and throw out there as the lifeline. Say, look, I could be wrong, right? But I've thought about this more than you're thinking I have. Like my career has been based around a lot of the principles we're going to talk about. And do you really think that I'm in on the deep conspiracy, right? Like, do you really think I'm in on, like, I'm part of a club that is so secretive and so well kept, right? Nobody can keep, like, you've obviously never worked in government before. If you think people have good plans, if you think that people that work for part of the machine are good planners, right? Or one of the most wasteful, disorganized kind of things is any central government, right? And then if you try to think, you've never worked with 100 people before and tried to keep a secret because they can't keep anything secret, right? No one can keep things secret. 5 people have a tough time keeping something secret. And so people will be like, yeah, the 4,000 scientists at NASA are all working. It's like, bro, there's a NASA in every freaking country. There's a NASA in every country, bro. What are you talking about? Neither here nor there, but it's like we get so wrapped up in our emotion and what we believe to be true that we're not even listening. Just like the dude with the car, it's like he's so focused on his car that he's not even really thinking, could I really be, while I have a phone in my hand, I'm looking at the meter, I'm looking at 2 different things. Do you really think that what I'm doing is I'm going, I'm going to get this? Why would I be picking on your car, bro? Do I look, you know what I'm saying? Like what rational thing would you be thinking that I look like? Maybe I look like someone that you thought about who did that. And so now you're on like high, but we get into these, like, we hold on to it. Like, that dude is trying to run my numbers. It's like, bro, think about it for a second. Would I have come back to the car? But I don't want to go all the way down that, but it's like, we get so wrapped up, bro. It's so heated. Yeah. And we can't let go. We can't let go.
I like an approach that allows you to be tangible. I think that's what it boils down to for me. It's just being tangible, understanding that there's so much to learn as it relates. And when it comes down to relating people to be, if there is going to be a point of conversion, and if God wants to use us as vessels in some way, shape, form, or fashion to be able to help people, man, people had to be able to access you. And that was one of the old problems that the Pharisees was having, that they felt like Jesus was supposed to be, untouchable. And he was like, what good is that if people can't access me?
You
know? If I'm not out hanging with the common folk, then what's going on here?
What's funny is Jesus had his biggest beast with the religious elite.
Yeah.
The prostitutes, the people that, society kept at bay. Those were the people that felt most comfortable with him. And how opposite do we conduct ourselves as followers of Jesus?
Yeah. Well, it's important, man, to be tangible, man. And like you said, to be able to hear other people's opinion. That's compassion. That's compassion. To hear other
even if it's stupid like flat earther, you gotta hear it. You gotta say, where's this coming from?
Yo, you just in flat earth like I'm mentioning Daz. You need to stop that.
It's Daz, by the way. But now I'm gonna have calls here. My man Daz is gonna be like, you didn't tell him that my name is Daz, man. And he did not know.
Hey, my wife
Jonah,
is over
he didn't know Mystic Liquid Click either. But what can we say?
Yeah. Anyway, my wife is over here, and I'm trying to get her to come over and say what's up, but she won't. So
your better half. You try.
Oh yeah, I can't even show that. It's all like blurred out. But
just trust she's the better half.
Better half. My God, I wouldn't even be here if it's not for her. The best thing that's ever happened to me this side of eternity. So shout out to my wife. And
yeah, you making me realize.
Pro could probably relate. Our wives, come on.
You making me look at the time and be like, I got to shut down the ProQuo Show. No.
She's over here. She's right in front, and I try to get her to join us, but she won't come over.
I understand.
She said, "I'm good."
Don't do it. Don't do it.
But anyway,
God
don't
bless.
Succumb.
Shout out to the wives, man.
Shout out to the wives.
My wife and I were talking about we're creeping up on 14 years, and so yeah.
How many years?
14.
Whew. Come on, brother.
Creeping up on it, huh?
Yeah.
God bless you, man. God bless
well, that would mean I'm creeping up on 13.
Congratulations, man.
Even though I'm not creeping, I'm just around the corner of 12. But
are you at 12?
I'm at 12, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
My better half is right there from the picture. She's chilling.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Baby.
Oh, yeah. See? She's represented right there. You're a little blurry. You're a little blurry on my end. Your picture quality is a little lower on my end, and Fly's a little crispier, I have to say. Fly must have the higher or the less utilized broadband or something.
That's what happened when the other half of people are actually paying attention to you. They notice how crispy your resolution is.
Yes.
Crispy resolution.
Trying to think of something cool I can show y'all too, Jonah. That I don't know where it is.
Listen, right I can't wait to convert to digital. the cassettes I have of Excalibur.
Oh, absolutely.
Wait
You know
till I
whose
get
work
those
that is, right?
cassettes.
Do you know whose work that is?
Is that D-Rock?
That is the work. That is a custom one right there. That is the work of D-Rock. Yeah.
It's my man Donald, Monster Mind Studios.
Yes.
Come on,
11,
man.
17, 20.
We used to be up there in Portsmouth. Me and Kamikaze up in Monster Mind Studios.
Yeah, absolutely. What did he write here? Lowell Hip Hop Pioneers, XCal, EMC3 Connect, Donnie Def Rock. To my brother, once again, find myself greatly appreciating your support. I hope the wait was worth it. I put a lot of time into this one. Came out so dope to me. Anyways, I'm honored to have you in my corner. Hope to rock with you sooner than later. Hope all is well with you and your beautiful family. My man, I got to get him going to the show in Manchester, man. He's up in New Hampshire.
Absolutely.
Dude. I lost you. I'd
love to be on a show with you, Fee, and D-Rock. And let's.
Oh man, that's a show right there.
Let's reach out.
We should just make it happen. Just invent it. But where is he? Where is he now? What part of the world is he in? Kamikaze is free, and in what part of the world?
He's in Manchester.
Yeah. Well, oh my gosh, he should come.
I know.
I'm gonna be rocking Manchester Sunday. Listen, I put the info right here.
I'll hit him up. But
yo, here's the info when you look back, right? Cut and pasted off the thing right here. It's right there. December 18th, Freddie Black, King Handsome, Professor Lyrical, ProQuo,
dude, if I was still in Lawrence, I'd be there. If I was still in Lawrence, I'd be there.
Absolutely. I mean,
when you coming to Miami?
Miami's a good excuse. Yo, I'm coming to Florida. I'll be in Destin, Florida on the 19th to the 22nd.
Halfway. Have me up there with you, man.
Yeah, it's only a flight away.
One flight away.
It's only a flight away. Yeah, how far is Miami to Destin? That's the Panhandle part, way out in the Gulf of Mexico. That's some hours, right?
I'm in southern Miami.
Oh man, I proposed to my wife in Miami.
So, but
I proposed to my wife in Miami. She made her biggest mistake that night.
Oh, stop it! Oh man.
Too wise to make a mistake.
It's only funny when it's true. It's only funny when it's true. Yo, you want to see something? You want to see something funny? You see this right here?
There's a lot of glare on. Oh yeah, I see the Celtics.
This was that was payment or part of the payment actually for a collab track I did. This dude worked at that store and he was like, "Bro, I can't get the rest," and I was like, you know what? I was like, that picture, right, and this was right when the big three were, and I was like, so.
No, you didn't extort somebody for a picture.
It was just like he was like 150 short, and I was like, you know what, and I'm not, but trust me, I'm not one to charge people for collabs very often. It's not something I really like to do or whatever, and I'd rather not even do the song. You know what I'm saying? And if basically my rule of thumb is if I don't know someone, I'm generally not doing the collab. And unless they would pay a ridiculous price that I'm not worth, that's usually what I would say. And then when they agree to pay, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I need to take that money from you and make this great song. So, but that's why I generally don't do collabs, because I feel like if you're not willing to do them for like something similar, like, you know, then you probably shouldn't be doing the track, because you don't even want to be on the track. Because it's like, yeah, I do. It's like me saying to you, yo, can you come over to my house and help me move my refrigerator? And you'd be like, yeah, I can do that. I'm going to need $500. And it's like, well, bro, you know, I'm calling you because you're my man, right? Like, you know, and so when people call you and they're not your man, they should be ready to pay something. Like, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not calling.
I agree.
Like, perfect example, right? Chip and I are really cool, right? Chip Fu, right? We talk quite a bit, and, you know, especially before COVID, and we're a similar wavelength, and we've done some shows together, whatever. And Chip is super dope, and he's like, to me, he's one of the greatest rappers of all time. Right at this moment, he's one of the greatest rappers of all time, right?
He's sick.
Dude, the little kid in me, if I do a track with Chip Fu, I mean, I can't even stop, right? I can't even ask the dude to do a track, because it's the kind of situation where he'd be like, oh yeah, let's just do the track. No, I have to pay you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't, you know, it's like, I'm not boys with him like that. You know what I'm saying? Where someone who's, in my mind, like, I would feel unjust if I didn't give him a decent sized bag, right? Yeah, I just wouldn't feel good in the morning, you know? Now, a lot of people, if they don't really respect the artist, they would be like, oh, yo, I'm going to try to figure out how I can get, maybe I can get cheap food for $300 or something like that. You know what I mean? And it's like, if you really respect the artist, you should be coming front facing, right? And be like, yo, even if you don't have it like that, be like, yo, I don't have it like that, but to me, you're a legend. Like, I want to give you, what it takes to get you on the track kind of thing. And that's generally why I don't ask most people who I really love to be on a track, because I'd want to pay them more than I could probably afford. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, like Kane, like if Kane told me 20 grand for a track, I'd be like, let me find 20 grand, but I mean, he's not going to charge me 20 grand. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think Kane would say 20 grand.
No, of course not. I'm just saying, I mean, well,
because he would hear Pro Lyrical and he'd say, yo,
I'm
let me jump on that right now.
I'm just name dropping right now, but you know what I mean, right? And it's like it's funny because it's like you think about the things you have and the thing, I didn't even think of that until I looked at it. I was like, oh, funny story about that stuff. And when we think about our, I don't want to say legacy, we'll say some of its accolades, some of it's like, it's the things you've done that you feel good about in terms of when we talk about the music and the culture or whatever. And it's like, metaphorically, what are the things that you can put on your wall? You know what I mean? And like, what would you want to put on your wall? And like, why are they there? And to me, there's a deeper story too, because that, the DJ who was behind this and the beat maker, he actually passed away. And it was like, I did the track and I was real excited that I did the track. It was dope, really dope track. I don't even know how to promote the track. I feel weird about it. It's a track most people haven't even heard unless you heard this relatively obscure, kind of thing. And it's like, I look at all the stuff and I'll pause and I'll be like, oh my gosh, bro. Like you forget until someone sometimes brings it up, and I'll look and I'll sit and I'll think, and then I'll be like, it'll inspire me to do something new. You know what I mean? I'll be like, yo, like, I mean, I'm looking at crazy stuff right now. And I'm like, yo, are you kidding me? And it inspires me. The old stuff inspires me to do something, brand new. And I'm in my head, I'm thinking about what's the next thing I can put up on the wall, not for like the self-flatulation of like, no one's coming in here, like I got stuff on the walls you can't see, like you'll never see. Yeah, it's cool to have a backdrop that grabs people's attention and be like, oh, conversation point or whatever, right? But it's the stuff that we do to motivate ourselves. And people will be like, yo, how do you, I got an instrumental, bros. I cannot wait to rap to tomorrow. I've been talking to my man who made it. I cannot wait. And I feel like that every day. And I said my first 4 bars like 5 different ways. I cannot wait to have some private time with myself to go write this song, And people are like, how do you stay that motivated? What's that?
That's unexplainable, bro. That's unexplainable. And that's exactly how most true artists are. We are introverted, man, because being alone excites you.
Yes.
Like, especially when it comes to writing, it's a very lonely process. You're in your own head, and can you imagine how insane you would look if you were standing in the park spending hours talking to yourself?
And I'd be in my zone, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe I need to watch Introverse a little more than
you do, man. You do.
I'm definitely not an introvert, but
Sundays at 6:30, bro.
I know it's dope, man. Listen,
we watch it with one person. There'll be like one person who's on it.
I got a beat
share
for all of y'all. I got a beat for all of y'all.
What's that?
I just remembered, and as you're talking, listen, I got a beat for everybody.
We're waiting to hear it.
All of us right here, Fee.
You know the email.
We're all gonna jump on this beat. I'm telling you. I'm gonna send it to either this evening or tomorrow.
It's
and
late, man.
I love to do a cypher track. I love to do a cypher track with this beat.
You see,
wait
Fly.
till y'all hear it. Wait till y'all hear it.
Threaten me with a good time now.
Nah.
I'm telling you.
Hey, yo, Fly. And by the way, speaking of dope cypher tracks or whatever, and on He Prays, man, if you aren't in Florida, we're rocking your song without you, bro. We're rocking your song without you.
Where in Florida? Where in Florida you're gonna be? Because I'm making a point to be there. Listen, after the show, send me the dates and stuff.
Yeah, it's actually a really incredible music conference. Actually, it's called Drill Down Level Up. It's drilldown-levelup.com. It's everything about the music industry, about sync licensing, getting you songs in movies, publishing, blah blah blah, and just all kinds of Grammy award winning people there. It's actually pretty small. There's like 300 people, and it's like a who's who from my man Tommy on Clubhouse. He's from a company called First Note Play. He's a sync agent, real successful like Wall Street guy who was in music his whole life, and he just jumped out of it and he was like, "Yo, this is all I'm doing." And he's the man with sync and movies and that kind of stuff. And so he wanted to put together a conference really to teach people, because he got frustrated that he would like do all these kind of like self-teaching things and people would screw it up for him. So he'd have like a deal ready to happen, and it'd be like 50 grand or something, right? And Tommy splits, he does 80-20. He keeps 20, you keep 80, right? And a lot of times it's 50-50 in that world. And so 80-20 is like a pretty good deal, right? But he's trying to like teach people, mentor them. And he's like, it's not that I don't want the money. He's like, I put in crazy investment into this stuff, and I got other people under me who I'm trying to have them feed their kids, whatever. He's a multi-millionaire, right? And so he's all about the education. By the way, he does a Sunday gospel room every Sunday, which is pretty crazy. He is on Clubhouse. He's a man of faith, bro. He's the real deal, right? And this dude's conference is like the epitome for people to learn all the details that they don't understand about lost revenues and really where all the real money actually is in the business. And we go into that, and there's a lot of people that are performing at and stuff, of course, ourselves and whatever, but just an amazing collection of people. So I'm pretty excited about it. But it's only a few days, but as F.L.Y says, it's only a flight away.
Only a flight away.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I'm saying all this as an advertisement to get F.L.Y to make sure he goes. What do you say?
I know, brother.
Let me know, man.
F.L.Y's trying to go. F.L.Y, I'm not trying to pressure you, man. I know you got real things going on, man. But I'm just gonna say QUO, LD, Pro. I mean, Fee and Ruby are on the fence, but it might not be able to make it happen. But they're coming from Nashua. But
oh man, I'll take somebody's spot.
Yeah, right. I know. Oh, and Tommy's favorite song like ever that I've ever been on. He's like, "Pro, I love you. I think you're the greatest freestyle, blah, 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 all this kind of stuff." I mean, spoken word artist. And he's like, he goes, "Back in the days, bro, that's like the greatest song you've ever done." He's like,
"It's dope.
You're performing that song when you come." And I'm like, I don't know if he's coming. Yeah. No, but for people that are more mainstream or whatever, they're going to love a song like that. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to a lot of that stuff, but you get it. Yeah. And all respect.
That's what's up. I'm about to bounce, man.
Yeah, me too.
Wives, it's that
me
time.
Too, man. Well, Jonah, appreciate you coming through and
love
sharing.
You guys. Thank you so much for having
sounds.
me on the show. Let's do this more often.
The inside line.
I appreciate you both.
All right, bro. You know the inside line.
Brother.
What do you say? You cut out. Say it again.
We waiting on that track.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna send it, man. It's gonna be the dopest cypher track. Wait y'all hear this.
And he's gonna have 35 other MCs on it that he didn't tell you about. It's gonna be 4 albums worth. Yeah, you got to keep this one to under 4 minutes, man. You gotta keep it. I know it's cypher track, but you gotta try it. You go for 359. 359.
It's just gonna be us.
359, bro.
Yeah.
He's just gonna be us, but it's like, of course, you gotta have QUO on there. I mean, you gotta have Fee on there. I mean,
you gotta have Fee. Gotta have
before you know it.
Gotta listen.
I mean,
and we gotta have D-Rock do the cuts.
Actually, QUO's pace is a little for QUO's own health. He probably shouldn't be on the track. He's got like a song a day.
I think QUO should be on the track.
He's got a song a day coming out, bro. We literally had to argue with him about how many he wants to do as releases. And like LD has been having fights with him at the label. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna put out 2 songs a week. He's like, bro,
2 songs a week?
No, 3. It was 3 originally. He was like, bro, I want to do a song every other day for like a year. I mean, that's how much material QUO has. I mean, it's just, you can see why he was overwhelmed, And wow. And he's like, can we get that down to 1 a week, maybe? You know what I'm saying?
Wow. I'm doing 1 a month.
Do you know how hard 1 a month is, bro? Of course, it's a lot of work, right?
It is a lot of work, and if you
1 a week,
really working it, man.
I mean, anyone can just put out songs, and that's the thing too. It's like
because my people are spread out all over the country. It's kind of hard to do one. You're letting it all here, sure, but
1 a month. 1 a month
people
is
are all up in Massachusetts. You know what I'm saying? And I'm down here in Miami, so.
Yeah, 1 a month, man. Our plan is every single off the ProQuo album. we got like 3 albums worth of stuff right now at this point, and we're like, yeah, let's keep doing every single.
Man, it's a whole project, bro. It's dope, man. I don't know. Listen, everything. And I was listening to your stuff, prior. I listen to you all the time, but prior to this show, I was really, what I'm saying, getting in your stuff and listen. You and ProQuo and your, your soul stuff, dude. You don't have one bad track. Not one throwaway track.
Well, there's always the ones that want to fly.
Like that. Like, dude, what the heck? That's why I say you're one of my favorite MCs, man. And I don't say that loosely. I don't just put that out there.
I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
That's what's up.
Good company, man. Good company.
Jedi.
Jedi. Right? That's the word, right? Jedi, right?
Yeah,
we need to be at the Jedi level. If we are not at Jedi level, what? We have work to do.
All right,
y'all.
All right, guys.
Appreciate it.
Love you. Grace and peace. Let's do this again.
Love y'all.